what we do here.
Okay, and hopefully we are live. Is everything working? Can you see me and hear me? If you can, let me know in the chat. It is, I have no idea what day it is. What day is it? It's Tuesday.
4th.
It's not easy when you're used to doing streams on a Saturday and you do one on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, the 4th of March, 2025. Good evening and welcome all. And hopefully you can all see and hear me. Let me know if you can. Hi to Rick. Hi to Frank over in Iraq. Hi Stan. How you all doing? Let me know. I'm just waiting for the chat to come through. Seems like there's a bit of a delay on the chat, but we'll see. Frank Gamer says yes, everything appears good in audio and visual, says Rick. Thank you very much, Rick. Let's make sure the overhead camera is slightly working. Yeah, that's close enough. Just like to see my my digits. Actually, let's move this mouse mat a little bit forward. Don't forget, if you want to pick up one of these mice mats or desk pads or whatever you want to call it, you can if you wish to, and also help support the channel. You can head over to our good friends at Technically Stable and you can pick up one of these wonderful mats, or alternatively, if you wish to, you can just have your own design and we still get a small kickback in commission. So if you want to help support the channel and get yourself a nice big desk pad, head over to technicallystable.com and use the discount code Mike to get a further discount on their already fantastic prices and free UK shipping. There's the first advert out of the way. Let's get another one out of the way. If you're looking for a Windows license key for your Windows 10 or Windows 11 devices, which we might be needing one later with the Windows 11 install, you can head over to premiumcdkeys.com/Mike's Unboxing and you can pick up a Windows 10 professional license key for about £3 or €3, $3, whatever it is, and get a little bit of discount on that as well. So happy days. Please feel free to check out the links.
What RTX is?
We'll go through the parts now. So let's get that set up. Actually, let's see if we can...
You're on the right camera yet?
I need to be on viewer activity, I think. No, there we go. Stream settings. Yep, we're all good. Analytics. Happy days. Here we go. Main camera. There we go. Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday live stream. It's very weird. It feels very odd, even though I only did it like... Even though I did it like 3 days ago. It seems like it was yesterday. So it feels very strange. So yeah, good evening and welcome. So we'll go through the parts that we're going to be using in tonight's build. Tonight's build is actually going to be something which I'm hoping is going to be pretty spectacular value for money. I've managed to pick up various deals and bargains over the last few weeks or whatever, and even as recently as yesterday. And I think this is going to turn out to be a pretty cracking PC, which hopefully I should be able to sell for basically what it cost me, so I can then recover the costs and then invest them into a new product. Something like possibly a 9070/9070 XT. Reviews are out tomorrow, so that should be some pretty interesting and exciting stuff. Slightly more exciting than the 5070 reviews which have gone out today, which seems to be extremely lackluster. And mostly, well, I think most of the reviews I've seen, people are saying basically, yeah, wait till tomorrow. We had that before, didn't we? This is not the first time that has happened. The AMD have launched the day after NVIDIA, and it's been like, wait, hold. Okay, go for it. Personally, I think that the 9070 is probably going to be a slightly enhanced version of the 7900 GRE, but with better ray tracing, which isn't a bad thing in itself, but pricing is going to be one of those things which is going to dictate whether a product is going to be a success or whether it's going to be a failure. And talking of successes and failures, we should head on and introduce some of the parts, and then we'll say some hellos, and then we'll get started with the build proper. And hopefully it won't proper brizzle. So you've already asked already, so what RTX card is it? It is actually listed in the video description, so you can check out, and also in the title. But tonight we are going to be using this bad boy from EVGA. God, how I miss EVGA in the graphics card market. And no doubt, I would say pretty much all of you in the chat are going to be thinking exactly the same thing. It's such a massive shame that EVGA got out of the game. Although, for their point of view, or their perspective, they probably did it at exactly the right time. They went out on a high. Ever since the 4000 series has been out, it's basically been kind of down, hasn't it? Downward. It's not good at all. So this is one of the best of the budget range cards from EVGA. So this is the XC3 Ultra Edition. Of course, this is the Geforce RTX 3070. Only an 8 gig card, but depending what games you want to play, 8 gigs can be enough. Some of the latest titles you may have to subject yourself to possibly even medium settings, God forbid, or maybe a little bit of DLSS going on, just to make life a little bit easier. But in general, if you look at the benchmarks, basically most of the tables, the 3070 to the 4070 and most of the modern cards, there's such a small incremental gap in between the products, but with extraordinary price jumps. So this particular card I picked up from a company here in the UK called gpus.co.uk, or is it gpus.com? Not sure. Try both. They'll probably both work. This was available with 2-day shipping for, I think it was £265, if I remember rightly. So not too bad a price. Considering the current market for graphics cards, I think this has actually worked out pretty well. And ultimately, if you think about the choices on the market for around about this sort of £250, £260 mark, there isn't really a lot to get excited about. And certainly, when you're trying to sell a PC, most of us will agree that it's a lot easier to sell a graphics card, sell a PC with a NVIDIA graphics card in it. I've learned from previous experience that if you put an AMD card in, they lose a lot of their resale value. Again, it's going to come down to the market conditions, but being that this is an EVGA card, it is somewhat of a collectible item, and it is one of their higher tier cards, the Ultra series. There wasn't many of these about. They're very hard to come by. And the performance is a little bit better than you'd get from a regular 3070. So hopefully this is going to help the card. Hopefully this is going to help the PC to sell when it becomes finished. The reason I'm building this, a couple of reasons, just to let you know some of the backstory. So Colin Hilton, God bless him, he actually offered to provide us with some Antec cases for review, because Antec basically wouldn't, because they basically don't like the way we do things on the channel, which is their prerogative, entirely down to them. But I wanted to see what some of the cases like. We started out with a P20C a while back, actually, from our good friend Rasher. He sent that probably over a year ago now. That was on a very good deal, so he sent me one all the way over from Ireland. Very expensive shipping. I think the shipping costs more than the case. Anyway, I digress. So Colin sent in the C3 and we did an unboxing. We've done like a live stream on that, and also we did the main video, which I don't even know if it's out yet, but anyway, regardless. I did notice when doing the unboxing that there are a few things about the C3 ARGB in white, which do fill me with slight fear in terms of the build and just the way that things are going to go. So I wanted to do the build in a live stream just so that I can basically make it up, and if my concerns were warranted, if it's going to be a pig to build in, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully, hopefully we're going to learn some things on the way. Hopefully my fears will be somewhat diminished over the C3 case. We'll see how it goes. So that is basically the kind of the backstory to it. So we're going to see how it goes. Ultimately, I will be selling this PC just to make some room, because there's boxes here everywhere, and we do have to kind of get things in, build them up, send them out, and just try and keep the rotation going. We run this channel from a very, very small location. The studio that you're watching this at the moment, for those of you new, this studio measures 4 meters by 3 meters and is basically our dining room. So this, where you're looking at the moment, is where we have our Christmas dinner. So yes, it's very much grassroots, keeping it real and just telling you how it is. So yeah, there is some explanation. Anyway, so graphics card is going to be this one, the RTX 3070 from EVGA. the XC3 Ultra. Looking forward to getting that into the system. We'll put that down for now. Other things of note, so we're going to be using the Deepcool. This is the AG400. Now this one is a kind of import from AliExpress, around about 15 quid. So that is a lot of value for money going on right there. This is also known as the 400 V5. Deepcool being one of those companies which obviously have got into some issues over the past, and you don't see a lot of them on the UK market these days, hence why I bought this from AliExpress. But it turned up, and for 15 quid, RGB cooler, or ARGB cooler I should say, excellent value for money in my opinion. We'll see how that goes as well. I've done an install video on that before, but I want to get it into this PC build. This PC build is also going to be used for some benchmarking, so I've got to benchmark the graphics card to see how it compares against the modern offerings, and also I'm yet to do a benchmarking run with that cooler as well, so I want to get that done. So this live stream kind of ticks a lot of boxes and helps me progress some of the other content which we'll be coming out with. Breathe. Let me grab my drink. We have tea. Well, we don't tea, but it's close. Excellent stuff. Right, so motherboard wise, you probably see this already because it's in the shop. So motherboard wise, we've got a little bit of a Gigabyte theme going on with this one actually. So we're using the B650 Gaming X AX V2. Now with Gigabyte motherboards, if you're not too sure if it's got Wi-Fi or Bluetooth on it, all you have to do is look for the AX. So AX is the Wi-Fi standard, so that's Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 6E in some instances. So the Gaming X V2 hasn't got Wi-Fi, the Gaming X AX has got Wi-Fi. So if you're ever wondering about that and you're looking through prices and thinking, well, why is this one 10, 20 pounds cheaper than the other one? That is possibly the reason. Again, fantastic value for money. The video actually for this, the review video went out yesterday, I believe. So this is still kind of fresh in the minds of some of you, hopefully. It's not for me because I did it about a week, well, yeah, about two weeks ago. I actually did the video, so I may need a slight refresher myself. But in terms of value for money, this is a pretty cost-effective motherboard. You can pick it up generally around the kind of, what, under £150, which these days for a motherboard is weirdly budget. It isn't clearly, but yeah, that's the way things are. Again, you've got a lot of features on this. You've got PCI Express Gen 4, M.2 slots, Wi-Fi, yada yada yada. Basically, it's a decent entry-level board, and you can put anything on here processor-wise that you want to, from a very entry-level kind of APU right the way up to the latest and greatest X3D parts, and it will be absolutely fine. So that's the motherboard. Power supply, again, keeping up with the Gigabyte theme. This was a absolutely cracking deal again. These are around about £60 in the UK generally. Sometimes a little bit more expensive, but they seem to have dropped a little bit recently. So this is the Gigabyte UD750w gold rated power supply, 750 watts obviously. Yeah, gold rated power supply, fully modular, cheap and cheerful. This I picked up a spectacular bargain. So rather than paying the full price, £60, this was actually from a charity store. And I thought it was going to be a different product. They advertised a different product.
On eBay.
Yeah, it was a store on eBay. Basically, they showed one product, listed that product, and sent these instead. So it wasn't what I exactly wanted. So they offered to let me have it for half the price. So a £60 power supply then turned into a £30 power supply. So hopefully, with these discounts, there should be a little bit of wiggle room to get this PC cheap enough that someone wants to buy it quickly, so I don't have to faff around and not have to knock the prices down too much and lose a ton of money, which is what I normally end up doing, because I don't know why I just end up doing that. That is the way things are. Anyway, nice power supply. It is very cheap, so in this it's going to be very helpful to help things move along. M.2 drive, I'm just going to be using for this one a Thickwatt FN501 Pro. I probably will change it out for something else after, so I can put a fresh drive in there, but just to get it up and running tonight, that's about the only 1 TB drive I've got here knocking around, so we'll be using that. When it comes to RAM, got another good deal. This is Kingston Fury DDR5 32GB kit RGB, CL30, so nice and tight timings, Expo and XMP rated. This again was another great deal. It was a strange story actually. Some lady was selling off her uncle's, basically his old PC store parts. And yeah, there was a bunch of these available for, I think it was about £60, £50, £60. It was very bizarre. Normally these are around about £90, 90 to 100, depending where you're shopping. So yeah, got another deal on there. So not quite half price, but very close. So yeah, very pleased with that. And again, with that extra wiggle room in there, I might be able to sell this PC at a sensible price. And you never know, I might even make a small bit of profit on this one. I hope so.
If you don't exclude the tax man.
If you take out what the tax man's going to take off me when I sell it, then yeah, the profit's basically gone. But anyway.
We're forgetting.
We'll forget about the tax man for now. Also, we've got some extra fans here. So these are actually sent in ages ago from Ugly Bob. God bless him. These are the Block Module 120s from Jungle Leopard. And I figured these might be quite a nice thing to put in the top of the case because there might be a little bit of a gap there. So yeah, these, I can't remember how to get these out of the box. I think these are white. Yes, they are. And they've got a little bit of the, what they call infinity mirror effect on the side. So that's pretty good. And also it's going to minimize wiring because they are block connect. So you can just daisy chain them all together. So hopefully that is going to make for a neat and tidy build, which again, with the Antec C3 could potentially be an issue because there ain't a lot of room to work in. Happy? Oh, happy Pancake Day for those of people that are having pancakes today. Calf and Angel will be burning, stroke cooking some pancakes later on in the stream. So get ready for the smoke alarms to be going off. I do apologise in advance for that. So if any of you have got any sort of trigger warning things for fire alarms, yeah, you might hear one later. So just to get that out there. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, processor. I didn't mention the processor. I better grab the processor actually. It is up on the shelf. Actually, I keep on buying these at the moment. These are great value for money. These are the Ryzen 7 7700 non-X version. These normally, if you were to buy them in the UK, they're around about £250 to £300, depending where you buy them from, because they're still absolutely bananas pricing. But again, AliExpress coming to the rescue. We're getting these in at around about £145 to £150 with the bargains and the tariffs and the shipping costs, income tax, not income tax, you know, VAT, import tax. That's what I was looking at. So yeah, Ryzen 7 7700. Yeah, I generally recommend if you're into flipping PCs or building PCs, get your processors on AliExpress. You do have the downside, it's only got a 1-year warranty because it's an OEM product, but 150 versus, well, almost double for one with a 3 or 5 year warranty from AMD retail. Yeah, it just seems a bit bananas really. But yeah, fantastic processor. Roughly the 7700 in benchmarking is kind of somewhere around the 5700 X3D sort of range, or the older 5800, the non-X3D version. So if maybe you're on a kind of older AM4 platform and you're thinking, is it worth it to upgrade? If you get them this cheap, definitely is. So yeah, I would strongly suggest having a look at those. So those are pretty good. Ryzen non-X chips are good. I agree. I actually prefer the non-X chips. They're much easier to cool. They don't use as much power, and yeah, they perform pretty bloody well. I like them a lot.
Boots, what are you doing? It's not good.
Nick Barnes says, finally home. Audio was perfect when driving, lol. Oh dear. Rasher says, this channel should be called Mike's Bumper Bonus Bargain Hunting. I have a hard job saying that.
And yeah, you've got the town yet.
Zero Defects says, just opened my first packet of mini eggs of the year. Oh, mini eggs. I got a real thing for peanut M&Ms. I did buy some actually, didn't I?
Yeah, do you want some?
No, because I'll choke on a peanut and that'll be it for the stream. That'd be a very definite thing to happen. Oh. Can I have melted peanut M&Ms in my pancake, please?
Are you having a pancake? You never have pancakes.
I have pancakes if I can have melted M&Ms.
I do melt them.
That'd be a good idea. Let's try.
Put them inside.
You just put them in.
Do you hear that? Angel's saying, yeah, good idea, let's try it. You're not stealing my M&Ms. God damn it. Kath's got some minstrels. Melted minstrels.
Normal M&M's.
Oh, I was going to get some pea
I want pancakes now. Chris Patel says, love the bargain section in the Discord. Thanks for the deals. No worries. You guys are the ones who help create it. So actually, for those of you that are new here, you have no idea what the hell's going on. You're probably not alone. You can check out the links in the chat there for our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, you're more than welcome to. Talk about tech, politics, the weather, whatever you want to talk about. It's entirely up to you. We don't have many restrictions, and we probably should, to be fair. But freedom of speech and all that, say what you like. You can be wrong, you can be right, but it's your opinion, so say what you like. Rutu says the $35 Thermalright Peerless Assassin is more than enough to cool Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. Yeah, definitely. Mark Berry says, Rasher, I have lemon and a bit of sweetener in it because the diabetes. Son has Nutella. Oh, Nutella. Damn it, I'm feeling hungry now. Would you stop this? Anyway.
Dave's out.
Dave?
Yeah. Cool.
Dave the cat, he's out, yeah.
Yeah, cool cat wants to
Let's have a look, see, just check through the chat there, just say hello to some of you. Wild Bill's in the house. Viali 100 says he's got darts tonight. Hope you enjoy the stream. Thank you, Viali. O'Reilly says, damn it, Mike, you're confusing me. I don't know which day or probably year it is now. Yeah. Dan Marsh says, hey, not quite a midweek surprise gift. Glad you could join us. Craig MCM says, yeah, love your streams. Thank you very much. And upgraded to 32 gigs of RAM today. Well chuffed. Actually, is the chat working? Yes, it is popping up. Excellent. Most of you, if you've been around long enough, you'll know that I was having terrible problems with the live chat pop-up. And normally if I click on it on the screen, I have to then press escape straight after because it thinks I'm right-clicking as well as left-clicking at the same time. Anyway, I found out that that particular plugin was extinct as of kind of Sunday. So I deleted it, and then I was just about to start the stream and was like, shit, I can't do the pop-ups. So I quickly looked over at the pop-ups I did originally. Clive
Sinclair?
Mindell, I think it is the YouTuber who actually kind of made the video on how to do it. So yeah, appreciate that. It's all working well. Love it. Fred's in the house. How you doing, Fred? Nick Barnes, we've said already. Ira Wolfman, how you doing, Ira Wolfman? Rick Wellybob as well. Looking at your monitor at the moment, Rick, as we speak. And Frank is watching from Iraq. What's the weather like in Iraq? Is it always hot and sunny over there? I'm very interested to know. Obviously, we only know what we see on TV, so we've got no idea. But is it like always like super hot, even at night? I don't know. Maybe a place to visit one day. Gabby says hi. How you doing, Gabby? Vlad FCP's in the house. How you doing? I think that is it. Nick Barlow. How you doing, Nick? Over from the USA. Good afternoon from the USA. Darren Gilholm says hi. How you doing, Darren? Mark Berry's in the house as well. How you doing, Mark? Rasher says, howdy doody, this is strange indeed. No beer, first non-Saturday live stream in years, probably ever. It's been a long time. We used to do them on Fridays, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm sure we used to do streams on a Friday.
That's why I had to work then.
I think we have done some midweek ones previously, but it's a rarity.
That's back 2017, 2018, I think, Fridays, wasn't it?
Yeah. Inky1919 says, hi, Mike's Unboxing. How you doing, Inky? Gabby says, my graphics card is RTX 2060, more old than a 3070. As long as it still does what it needs to, it doesn't matter. Rick says, shame 8GB cards suffer with VRAM, but temper your settings and resolution and you'll be fine, mostly. Yeah, definitely. Our Portier says, good evening, everyone. How you doing? And Jay Gordon says it's 5070 day. Well, I keep on going to press escape now. I don't need to do that. I can press clear. That works just as well. Good stuff. Kenny D's in the house. How you doing, Kenny D? Ashley Strachan, even all that comment when I actually questioned if it was Saturday or not. Yeah, I hear you. Glenn's in the house as well. How you doing, Glenn? Glenn says, good evening all. Zero defects as well. Our Pcie says, does anyone know if 200mm ring fans are available? Do you mean RGB fans or ARGB fans? They are, but they're very expensive and generally not very good. They're quite rare. Mitch Hammond's in the house. How you doing, Mitch?
Glenn will be away from keyboard but listening, so have a
Alright, okay. Sinister Chef, how you doing? Says I'm late for anything. No worries, I haven't started yet. O'Reilly says, Canada, 25% tariffs on USA. Now Trump says, okay, we'll add tit-for-tat tariff to our existing tariff on trade with Canada. Madness. Yeah, so the deals that we've got here might be some of the last ones we see for a little while. We'll see. I'm going to have to call you H because I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Hafish? Sorry. Good night from Indonesia. It's 1:41 in the midnight. That is late. You should be in bed. Go to sleep. Phil Stodd's in the house. Says hello, everyone. Sinister Chef says, I'm being a rebel and listening while I prep for dinner. Good for you. Bendy Ink Machine Fan. Hello, Mike and Kath. How you doing? And Muckless. I bought a 2080 Super for a build. I was thinking that or a B580. What do you think would be better for 1440p, maybe 4K? Realistically, I think for a 2080 Super, the 2080 Super I think isn't far off a 3070. And a 3070 kind of trades blows with the B580. The B580's got a little bit more RAM, probably going to have arguably a little bit better longevity depending what happens with Intel. It's yeah, it's a tough call. The thing is as well with the 2080, you got to think that is getting on for what, 5 years old now. So graphics cards obviously don't last forever and they don't have driver updates forever. Although again, comparing it with Intel, we just don't know. Intel is a completely unknown quantity at this point in time. So yeah, who knows. Chris Hartford's in the house, says good evening all. And I'm going to call you H, okay? Is that alright? I'll just call you H to save mucking your name up. Thank yous, might go to bed after this. This could be a long one, so you might just get your toothbrush and toothpaste ready and do your teeth and then go to work when we're done. Don't sleep's overrated anyway, you didn't need it. Our Pcie says, just saw your video of the GameMax Blackhole case, but unfortunately I can't find such RGB ring fans anywhere. No, that is one of the biggest problems with the 200mm fans. They're just really hard to get hold of. Finding them is basically kind of impossible. Even on AliExpress it's hard. And to find a decent one that actually does PWM, most of the old crappy ones will do kind of DC control, and they're kind of okay, but yeah, getting a decent 200mm ARGB fan is really hard. Having said that, I have been somewhat reliably informed that Thermaltake will be soon releasing what is possibly going to be the CT200. So they do the CT120, the CT140, but it looks like they're going to be doing a CT200. So a 200mm ARGB case fan, which it should be pretty good, hopefully. No idea pricing or when it's going to come out, but it might arrive.
Sunny side up.
Sunny side up, best case under £70 at the moment in your opinion. I would say arguably the Montec 903 Air Max. That's normally about £60, £65. I think it's actually really hard to better that. There probably are other ones, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Whenever anyone asks me for like what is the best case of around about £60, the Montec is the one that always comes to the forefront of my mind because it was an absolute dream to build in. There's so much room in it. You can put a ton of fans in there if you want to. It comes with a ton of fans out of the box, like 4 140mm ARGB fans, and it's got a hub. Yeah, it's hard to really say that there's anything better, or at least better value, at that sort of price point. There really isn't. I guess you could arguably say the GameMax F15M. That probably gives it a good run for its money, and if you want to spend a little bit more money, you've got things like the Lianli 206, 216, 207, 217. All those are kind of very similar-ish, or even the old Lianli 215. That might be one to look at as well for that sort of money. Rutu says, what about 160mm fans? Again, 160mm is a very weird size. Not many places or people will do it other than ones that have done it in their own cases already. Yeah, 160 is a difficult one. I would probably advise against buying a case with 160mm fans just because of how limited your choices are if you want to replace them. Obviously, replacing them with 140s is probably the easiest bet, and you're not really going to lose a drastic amount of airflow going from a 160 to a 140, or probably even a 120 to be fair. Rutu says the Montec X3 mesh. I like the X3 mesh, but I don't like the fans. They're a little bit on the noisy side, and I think, if I remember rightly, they're all kind of Molex daisy chained, which I'm not keen on. Okie dokie. Right, I think we should get things started. So let's start with the motherboard, because that is going to be obviously the key component going forward here. It's nice to see Gigabyte boards on the channel. I've said this before actually, we don't see a huge amount of kind of Gigabyte products in general, although recently we have been in contact with the UK distributor, or the UK kind of, what do they call it? The kind of the coordinator for YouTube and content creators and stuff. So hopefully we're going to be put on the list for distribution when new products come to market. So that's going to be excellent. It'd be nice to see some other options. And Gigabyte, I think, are doing. Ow! Stuck myself. Gigabyte boards are a bit spiky. There's cat's hairs in the RAM slots. That'll never do. That's the last thing you want in your RAM slots. Yeah. Gigabyte are doing a lot of good stuff recently, so happy to see them on the channel. Let's go with the overhead camera, and then hopefully you can all see what is going on here. No, it's at the top now.
I've moved it. Move it, move it.
Move it or lose it, sister.
I can't move it, mate.
Yeah. There we go. Here's Welly Bob's getting his OCD.
Good old Welly Bob. Otherwise I've never tell you.
So here we are. This is our Ryzen 7 7700, and for those of you who haven't seen an AM5 socket before, it's pretty straightforward, although there are these horrible pins which I absolutely detest. And to save dropping your CPU, if you start in one corner or one side and drop it down, there's like a little indentation. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see very well there, but it is there. And then you can just let the CPU kind of flop in to make sure it's in there nicely. When it is, lower the clasp or lower the top and basically wait for that to ping off, or not, as the case may be. Excellent. So that is the CPU installed. I suppose next we could probably stick some RAM in. RAM's a good idea. And we've got the Kingston Fury. Nice stuff. I think this system's actually going to be brilliant because we've got really nice RAM and we've got a really nice GPU, and even though it's kind of like not cutting edge stuff, it's all good. It's like decent quality stuff, and the RAM being low latency is excellent.
Well, Bill says it was more entertaining than he used a barrel for.
It was. It was. You're not wrong.
Do you want a barrel for?
I would like a beer or four.
You got any?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Do you want?
Yeah, go on. Get me a weak one to start
I
with.
don't know what weak or strong is.
Because it could be a long stream and I don't want to get absolutely annihilated on a stream. Oh, tell you what, I'll put that in the right way.
There's none in the fridge. That's what you're talking about.
Is there not? Oh dear. Right. Let me take my jacket off a minute. It's starting to warm up in here, and actually I'm going to turn the heating off as well. Because I've put the heating on. It's a bit too much. Yeah, I'll put my beer coat on, it'll be way too warm. Where are we? Heating set to 21 degrees at the moment, but it feels more like about 40 in here. So let's turn that down. No, let's turn that off. Set it down to 19.5. There we go. Happy days. Oh, yeah, that went back to 20. The hell? No, it didn't. Lying to myself. Right, hang on a sec. I'm going to take my jacket off. If it's warm beer, you can stick some ice in it. I suppose I could drink it out of a bottle. Right, there we go. There's that done. I'm going to try and clear up as I go, because otherwise I end up getting into a right pickle. That's never good. So, yeah, we're doing pretty well so far. So we've got our CPU installed, we've got our RAM, and we can now put in our M.2 drive. So M.2 drive on this, because it's a slightly more budget orientated motherboard, you don't have any of those fancy latches on there. So just undo a screw, lift that up, and we'll put that to one side for now. And have we got a screw in there? Yeah, there is a screw in there already, so I left that in there from when I was looking at it earlier. We'll take it out and we'll grab our M.2 drive, which is here somewhere. Ah, there we go. Thank you. What the hell am I drinking out of?
Mike's unboxing.
Mike's unboxing bloody thing. Oh god, and I got my penis bloody can out there, bottle out there. Oh dear lord. There we go. Instant ban. Let's see. There we go. Right, let's put that down there. I'm just waiting for the live chat to catch up. Where's the umbrella for the beer cocktail? Yeah, I know. Nuts,
oh, cool cat wants to see you, Dave.
Right, let's get this open.
Yeah.
Look at the state of this.
Head on that.
Oh my god, it's going to have more of a head on it than it did in the morning. Love the turtle on there. Oh yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. Oh well, better let that settle down. Right, there's the M.2 drive, and I think, yes there is, the protective film is still in place on the bottom. Now actually with these, I generally cut some of this off because you're never going to have a full-length drive on there, and it just makes it super difficult to take it off after. So, oh balls, I've forgotten my knife again. Right, where is my kit? This would be the there we go. So good old William Bodie sent us this this knife set. So I can use one of those, and this is where actually, funny enough, O'Reilly did say earlier, is there going to be blood in this stream? And there could well be. Oh, have I nosed that up now? Ah, there we go.
Motherboards are definitely not giant big ones.
Just going to trim that along there. And oh, get rid of some of this muck. There we go. So now we've just got our thermal pad, so it's actually just going to be on the drive. And it's not going to get all gummed up. And actually, I could probably take a little bit more of that off.
You cut that like you do the cheese.
What, with my teeth?
With a wedge on it. Got a wedge on.
There we go. Perfect. Okay, there's the M.2 cooler installed. Happy days. That's almost a bit of Welsh, can't there? Happy days.
Well,
Oh, hello, Rob Wells. Right, let's try some of this nightmare stuff. Oh my goodness, that is pleasant. Just put my knife away. He's got a knife. Excuse me. Actually, could have used that one, couldn't I? Oh well. Right, yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So, next thing to do would be to get some thermal paste on the go. Just going to use a little bit of MX4 for no other reason other than it was there. And just put a little blob there. And try and find my spreading spatula. Well, Bill, excuse my ignorance, but where is Ugly Bob? Nobody knows. He appears to have disappeared off the face of the earth. Bizarrely.
But we will still use his bottle opener.
We will still use his bottle opener. Okay, we're all good there. Right, let's get the CPU cooler installed. So for the CPU cooler, I think if I remember rightly, we have to remove these brackets. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off.
The one bot is looking at 3070 Founders editions on 229 on eBay.
What's that?
I'm looking at 3070 Founders edition for 229 on eBay, surprisingly.
That's not too bad. The Founders Edition's quite a nice card. Although an absolute pig to take apart if you ever need to do any work on it. Excuse me. Right, this cooler is an awesome piece of work. Because you don't even have to take the fan off. You can just leave the fan on there and still get to everything really, really easily. Right, so AM4 is going to need the orangey red bits here, and just put one of each.
The drinks on your building surface are triggering Cool Cat's OCD.
Done.
Look at the drinks, so you meant both of them would be an eye shot.
Oh, they're not. Oh, what?
This is when you knock them over.
Yeah. You can't see them much now. Right, so we'll put the bracket over the top. Just line that up. And with these, if you get them started just a little bit, just so it holds the plate into place, then you can do the final kind of screw down slightly after. Bizarrely, this is the easy part, and we're almost an hour in already. Mind you, I was gassing for ages, so there is that. Jason Wood says, "Is it Saturday?" Not quite.
You're still going.
Yeah, this is. We didn't stop. We carried on all the way through. There was a private member stream. There wasn't. I'm only joking. We've never done a private member stream. I've made some of my streams private.
Only because of too many.
Only because I had too many beers and said some really, really offensive stuff. And some of you may remember that. Probably not though.
Only really offensive to YouTubers, to YouTube.
Yeah, they're only offensive if you worked at the BBC or YouTube.
Are you going to come and say hello?
Probably not a good time at the
I'll
moment.
just pop the camera over and show him.
You can't see on that one.
Yeah, but can't you just change
All
it
right.
over?
Going back to the main camera. There you go. Dave's about.
Say hello, Dave.
The big floof.
Alright, you okay now?
There. Mandatory cat show done.
Cool cat wanted to see Dave. You're on camera now.
I know. That's right. Right, so I'm going to put the remainder of the paste on the bottom there.
Yay, Davey!
No point wasting it. And then we can just put the cooler onto the top. Makes sense. And there we go, that's good. So we'll do a couple of reverse turns just to get it started. There's the click. 1, 2, 3.
Our Wolfman nearly chopped their thumb off watching you and cooking tea.
Sorry.
Dinner. We're not posh.
Uh,
We call it tea.
I'm just going to have to put the air conditioner on in a minute. It's 24 degrees in here, it's like summer.
Oh, it's been lovely this week so far.
It has been. We've had a nice bit of sunshine already. Sorry to hear you've possibly cut yourself. That's a bit of a rookie error, isn't it?
He's probably watching you
There
with
we
that
go.
knife and then cut himself.
Let's get a bit of blue roll. I wish actually Ugly Bob would come back because we're almost out of blue roll. I'm only joking. Bob used to do that. He used to just send like a big multi-pack of blue roll, which we never asked for, but he just used to send it randomly. Yeah. Okay, there's that out the way. I think that is pretty much all we need to do. There's another cat hair there. I don't think I've actually fired this up yet to do a BIOS tour or anything, so I don't think I need to reset the CMOS. But being that it's here, I might as well ping the battery out in a minute. And I will reset the CMOS back to the factory defaults, if I can remember where the pins are. Where are we? Oh, there's a reset there, isn't there? You just press that. That always freaks me out that there's a reset button on the board for some reason. And I can put the pins over there, so that's it. That should be cleared. There we go. Right, so that is the motherboard done, I think. Other than connecting up the connectors, which I might as well do, I suppose. So the ARGB is on the side. Probably not really worth doing that at the moment because I'll probably have to disconnect it anyway. And the CPU fan is that one there. Is that CPU fan 1? Yes it is, yeah, there we go. Oh, I've triggered myself now. Right, I'm going to get rid of these bits of sticky, because that's just annoying. I'll pop that cable down there. I think I'll leave that off for now, because I'm not sure where that's going to be connected. Anyway, we're all good. The fan spins. And yeah, we're all looking very lovely indeed. So I can go back to the main camera now. So I'm going to get rid of this off the desk temporarily. Well, I'll say off the desk. Out of the way. And that can go back. Nick Barnes, what did Nick Barnes say? Remind me, does the CMOS reset the BIOS back to original? It doesn't set the BIOS version, only resets the BIOS settings. So if you've put some kind of crazy settings and your system won't boot up anymore, then you can use that as a means of resetting things back to the factory defaults for that specific BIOS version, not defaults as in when the board was first made. Because if you think about it, there wouldn't be really any way of doing that, because every time you flash the BIOS, it removes the old BIOS, which is why people get upset, because if your system dies halfway through, you kind of corrupt your BIOS and lose it. So there isn't actually a way of the system remembering your old BIOS version and resetting as far back as that. So yeah, all you're doing is resetting the settings itself. It's like if you had Windows, if you have Windows 11 and you do a factory reset, you just get reset back to Windows 11. It won't take you back to like Windows 10 or Windows 7 if you've upgraded. It'll just take you back to like the factory setup. That's the way to think about it. Irie Wolfman, go careful. Hayden Trent says, oh, mid-start I was out shopping in Aldi. Big wok for £9. Very good. Arnold G says, come on, do a BIOS flash programmer. I would, no. I would love to be able to do BIOS programming and flashing, but I think it's a little bit above my station. The actual flashing in the BIOS side of it, I think I'd be okay with. But the actual soldering and desoldering, I would struggle. Like if I could put clips over it, it'd probably be alright. But I don't think you can do that for a majority, and you have to physically remove them. Okay, right, Fluffy Dave, you're going to have to move. What are you doing? Kath's just pointing her phone at me in a camera meaningful way. It's like, what are you doing? Right, going to put our CPU bits and bobs in the bag. I can put that back in the box in a minute. Clear the deck. Come on, we've got 93 consecutive viewers at the moment. I was hoping to get 100.
Should I go on there as well?
Yeah. Angel, turn all your devices on. Because that's what we want to see. I want to see what the numbers are like on a weekday. Vlad says, what a joke is the 5070. Yeah, it doesn't look particularly good, does it? It's not ideal. Right, Dave. Sorry. You can have the box back in a minute.
Oh, you've got everybody's little legs on it.
Poor old Dave. He's, oh, bloody cat hair's going up my face. Right, sorry, I'm just off the side of this camera here, getting the case out of the box.
You apologise for people's ears.
Oh yeah, sorry about your ears as well. Electric shock, right, I'm good.
We'll go back on in a minute, Dave.
Talk amongst yourselves. Keep it clean. Right. Okay. So we've got a case. This is the Antec C3 ARGB in white. You probably guessed that already from the from the video title. And we'll start getting this taken apart. So what do we need? Let's take off the front panel because that's going to be a good place to start.
You happy now, Dave?
And
Yeah.
oh yeah, you just got to kind of. Actually, how the hell does this front panel come off again? Oh, it slides backwards. I should know these things. It's not been that long. Right, I'll put the screws up there so I actually remember them. And we will take the back panel off as well. Might as well give us as much room as possible to work in.
Barry asked, is this a members stream?
No, it's not a member stream.
I'm glad we did it today because it's been raining all day.
Oh, right.
Nick's got Joe to log in.
Cheers, Joe. What are we on? We're at 94. There we go. We're getting there.
Mine says 89.
Is there anything else I need to take out of here? I think that is probably going to be okay. Maybe I'll take the front panel off as well. Yeah, let's take the front panel off, get out of the way.
Jason was.
And there we go. We are pretty much stripped down and bare right now. So looking at the back of the case, you can see already my concerns. There is not a lot of room to work in this back basement section at all, which does concern me a little bit, if I'm honest, because I think this is going to be an absolute pig to work in. and there is basically almost zero room on the back. Now when it's built, it's probably going to be absolutely fine and be actually a really nice little PC, but I think actually getting to the point of where it is built is going to be somewhat of a null. That's a technical term.
Jason Woods.
Jason Woods, hang on, I've got to look through the case. Jason was Willa Ryzen 5 5600X bottleneck A5070 Ti. Yeah, probably a little bit. Not massively. It's going to be dependent on your games. If you've got some games which are CPU heavy, or games which on kind of loading really hit the CPU hard, so things like Fortnite. Fortnite, when you're first loading up, going into a new map, it absolutely slams the CPU. So you'll probably find in some instances you're going to be getting a little bit of a bottleneck just in those instances. But when you're actually kind of the game's loaded and you're playing, it's all going to be down to the GPU realistically. Again, it is going to be somewhat game dependent.
Sunnyside.
Sunnyside, are you a full-time YouTuber now? I've been for the last... What year is it?
I suppose it's since 2018, wasn't it?
No.
And then you kind of...
Because COVID, I was still working, wasn't I, in the shop?
Yeah, and then 2019 you went back to work, so
Yeah.
I could get out of working.
Yeah. Kind of on and off, yeah. Yeah. For the last 4 years, realistically, I have been. Technically I'm not, because I still work on a Sunday in a local car shop. I still don't know why I do it. But it's nice to get out and actually meet other human beings and stuff, because otherwise just staying here all day, do basically the same thing every single day. So it is kind of nice to get out and about and meet humans. Anyway, let's get this power supply installed, because this is going to be the scary part for me personally, because I don't think this is going to go well. And if this bit doesn't go well, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. Now I deliberately went for a power supply which is on the compact side. So this one I think is about 140 mil. So if we get our measure out, so yeah, 140 mil. So the normal width of a ATX power supply is about 150 mil, give or take. So that's the width. It's not often you get a power supply which is more compact in the length than it is the width. Normally they would be kind of like about another 10 to 15 millimeters. And in this instance, I think all the space is going to be helpful. Now if we put the power supply actually in position, I think it's going to alleviate the majority of my fears, because as you can possibly hopefully see, that is actually leaving quite a lot of room. So it's not a maximum amount of room, but it does appear to be sufficient. I can stuff some cables in there. I don't think you'd be very happy if you had a power supply which wasn't modular and you had to find room for all of your cables. You end up having kind of spaghetti going all up and down here, but yeah, we'll see. Yes?
2-door and sunny side up again.
Sunny side up. 2-door, question between DDR4 and DDR5 paired with a i5-14600K. Not really. There's you get some games and some applications which will benefit from the extra bandwidth and speed. Realistically, on the Intel platform, Intel's never been particularly memory sensitive, at least not as much as AMD have been. So yeah, I don't think you're gonna have any problems there. If you're on DDR4 and you're thinking, should I upgrade to DDR5? There's no real benefit of doing so on that particular platform, really. Unless you're going from like DDR4, the early stuff like 2133 with crappy latency, and then maybe go into like DDR5, some super fast stuff, then you would definitely notice a difference. But if you're going from like DDR4 3200 or 3600 to DDR5 56 or 6000, yeah, you're basically not going to notice it at all. Or if you do, it's only going to be in benchmarks.
That's sunny side up. So you need that.
Sunny side up. Hang on, let's have a look. Did you own own your own PC shop. Guessing it was in Bristol and not in a local town, but there used to be one in Bradstock, and you sound just like the bloke there. No, it's not me. That wasn't me. You can't prove it. No. I owned a PC company of sorts, which did, well, say, Kath and myself owned it, I should say. Yeah, we had a PC company doing sort of mobile repairs. It was a bit of a strange one. So a bloke owned a company which was selling PC warranties and doing PC repairs, but he only wanted to kind of really concentrate on selling the warranties. He didn't really care about the PC repairs, but getting the PC warranty side of the business he was struggling with to get the numbers, whereas the PC repair business, which I eventually ended up taking over that part of it, was kind of pretty much thriving. So there was always work to be done, and potentially it could have been quite profitable, but due to certain circumstances it all went a bit tits up, let's say, and yeah, it didn't work out as intended. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame, but yeah, these things happen. It's not the end of the world. We dust ourselves off, we pick ourselves back up, and we get on with it, or we try to. Wow, there's a super chat from W Denton, $50. Wow, thank you very much. Where's my mouse? Ouch. Kath's doing her exercises, so that is beneficial. W Denton. Yeah, I've not seen you in the chat before, or at least I have not under that username, so thank you very much. That is a massive donation. Thank you so much. Happy days. Hopefully it's US dollars. If it's, what's one of the ones where the dollars aren't very good? I think there was one where someone got a YouTube donation of like $1 million, but it turned out to be from somewhere where they were worth like about £5 or something. But thank you anyway, regardless. That is much appreciated. And for those of you who don't know, if you do drop a super chat, you get your message obviously highlighted. We will read out your message and answer your question, and also Kath has to get up off her chair and turn on the RGB lights, which is good exercise for her. She likes that. At least I think she does. She haven't said she dislikes it. What do I need? I need a SATA. Right, just working out what cables I need to go into my power supply. So obviously I need the 24-pin main power connector to go to the motherboard. I definitely need a 8-pin and possibly a piggyback or pigtail for the 3070. I actually haven't looked at the 3070 yet, so I don't know what power supply, what it actually does need. Let's have a look. Does it? It does. It looks bigger. I don't know. Yeah, it does appear to be bigger, doesn't it? Does it say requirements on it? I'm guessing this is going to be a dual 8-pin, but I don't know. Hopefully it's a single 8-pin. That would be lovely. I don't think it is. Please don't drop it. Oh, hang on. I'm going to have to look at this graphics card a minute and see what connectors it's got. So it has, oh, 2 8-pins. There we go, just so you can see. There is the GPU. Nice GPU. I think that's going to fill up a nice section of room in there. Make it look a bit more appealing, even though it is only 8 gigs. Only 8 gigs. There we go. Ravijot. Hey Mike, do you think that Intel is drunk considering they have super budget B760 motherboards for nearly the same price as 12? Yeah. Intel are in a lot of trouble right now in terms of kind of winning market share and kind of that whole kind of hearts and minds thing going on. It's I just realised I don't have the extra 8-pin connector for this power supply. I've only got SATA and one of those. Oh well, hey ho. We'll have to make do. We'll have to improvise. Yeah, Intel are they're seriously smoking something right now. They've got no real competition, sorry, they're not competitive at all, really. They're vastly more expensive than AMD, and like the thing is, if someone's building a new PC these days, especially kind of a mid to high end one, no one is looking at Core Ultra, no one at all. But they still refuse to drop the prices, which I don't really understand. You'd think they would like to get some inventory moving around, or maybe they're still selling to OEMs and businesses and the likes of your Dells and stuff like that, and selling kind of business PCs. The thing is, what we need to realise, or what we don't need to realise, but just you need to be aware of, the PC gaming industry as such makes up such a tiny, tiny, small fragment of the overall PC market. It is minuscule. The server market and the kind of the business market, where they're selling thousands of PCs at a time, that is where the money is, and that's where businesses are concentrated. So if they've been used to buying Intel, they'll just keep on buying Intel. Even if they come along with the AMD alternative, they'll be like, well, we've always used Intel, and they'll just keep on doing it, because they're not gamers. They don't know what we are looking at and the differences we see on a day-to-day basis. So they'll just keep on buying that stuff, which is fine. That's obviously their prerogative. It's their businesses at the end of the day. And I still didn't plug in the SATA cable.
Hayden Trent says, should have it, Mike. All mine came with times 2 for.
I just looked in the box. There was more in the box. I didn't pull all the cables out. That was an error.
W. Denton says, I've been here several times, and Sir Chris Kringle says, please use 2 cables, not the pigtails.
I'm doing it. I'll take it out. We'll start again. W. Denton, thank you very much. I think I've seen your name, but maybe you've not been very active in the chat, possibly.
Sunny side up as well.
Sunny side up.
Can I build PCs?
Can Kath build PCs? Yeah. Yeah, she can build a PC. She would probably do it on a stream if you pay enough.
Not after money. If you did it on overhead and you can see my face.
Yeah, she said if I do it on an overhead stream and we can't see her face, she'll do it. But that's the thing, like, we know why. Well, we don't know why, but
you could call me Antec wife.
Antec. Yeah, you could take it over from Brian. Ouch, that was painful, wasn't it? Right. I'm going to use 2 PCIe connectors then. So I'm going to stretch the limit of what this case can actually do in terms of fitting. Did I put the SATA in still? No, I didn't. I'm not concentrating very well. One of these cables, are they 4s? Oh, yeah, they're both 4-way SATAs, so I've got no real choice other than to use a 4-pin SATA. That's right, a 4-plug SATA. I'd have much preferred to have a shorter one with maybe just 1 or 2 on, but
sorry to bother. That blue roll is forced perspective and it's creating mild eye strain as I can't unsee it. Where is it?
There you go.
Oh yeah, of course. I couldn't see it on there. But my glasses are.
You don't have to apologise or say sorry for saying anything like that. It's fine. We understand there's lots of viewers with different requirements and needs and what have you, so yeah, if something's bothering you, just say so. But if it's me, then don't. Because there's not really much I can do about that.
You worry about you, I worry about me.
Yeah. Oh. There's something very disconcerting about trying to put a black power supply into a white PC and being able to see where the screws line up. Or don't, as the case may be. Right, let's get these done. What are you cooking?
Making gyozas.
Bless you. What the hell's a gyoza?
It's like pastry kind of, but...
Go on, Ange, bring it round and show, put it on the camera. Well, don't do it like that. Look at armpit patty. What's the matter with you?
This one is bad, I don't know. None of them look very good.
Put the baking tray round.
The baking tray's horrible.
Right, hang on. Do you want to see what Angel's cooking on the baking tray? Let us know in the comments.
It's not being baked, by the way. It's just to separate them. It's too big, too many for a plate.
Yes, O'Reilly says he wants to see it. Bendy Ink Machine fan says yes. Sunny Side Up says yes. Right, do you want me to do it? There we go. That is what is being made. I have no idea what it is. It looks like it might be lethal. Someone may be in the hospital tomorrow morning.
You're so horrible. What is it, Ames?
I'm only joking. So they're barbecue beef armpit patties. All you can do is get a little bit of stuff, stick it in your armpit, crunch it down, boom, you're done. Armpit patties, everybody. We're going to market them as that. We'll put them on sale. We'll get an Amazon store. Armpit patties. You know you want one. It smells so good.
Paris were not included.
Yeah. You can have it in Lynx Africa flavour. And if you go for the chocolate filled one, you can actually have it with Lynx chocolate or Lynx dark chocolate.
Ruby jar.
Nice.
Do you have any way to tighten the Ethernet cable connection to my laptop, or it loses connection for a sec?
Right, yeah. If your Ethernet connection is losing connectivity, it's normally because of the retention spring. So those plugs have a tendency to want to pull out. So let me grab one a minute and show you what I'm talking about. I do this on a regular basis. So if you get your Ethernet cable, normally got like a strain leaf like this. So that is kind of spring loaded. And when the plug goes into the jack, the spring loaded part of it is what actually kind of holds it in place. Now over time, that little bit of plastic on the end here gets a little bit weak, and it will tend to be a little bit flatter. So the flatter it is, the less strain relief or the less tension there is. So all you need to do is just get the plastic and just gently bend it up very slightly, but not as much to break it, just so it is a little bit higher. And then you'll find when you plug in the jack again, it will click into place a lot firmer, and that will then hold it into place. Now, because of the heat generated in your laptops or your PCs, these plastic bits generally do tend to break down, and it will go back to normal. The amount of heat cycles will eventually make it flat again. But if you just do that every now and then, just give it a little stretch, and you'll find that it will be a lot better. If you get to the point where eventually it's broken off, you can just snip the ends off, buy yourself a Cat 5 or Cat 6e wiring kit, and you can just put a new jack on the end. It's a pretty easy thing to do. In fact, we're going to do a video on that really shortly, so hence the reason why I'm going into this a bit, because making up your own cables is actually a very rewarding and also cost-effective thing to do. Oh, Calf's on the move. Super chat time. We got armpit patty o'clock. What is going on? Oh, let's wind that up there. Yeah, I unplug those things all the time. What on earth is that? Who sent that? Your mum? She turned me into Harry bloody Potter. Jesus.
Sorry, I'm just getting
Who's
there.
the super chat from?
I'm getting there.
There we go. From which name do I use? which name? O'Reilly. O'Reilly sent us a £20 donation. Thank you very much to PayPal. Of course, if you want to do that and you want to save some of the tax that we pay to YouTube, you're more than welcome to do that. Send it to our PayPal address, so Mike's Unboxing, or Mike's Unboxing at paypal.com. I don't know. It's in the video description. But he sent a £20 donation. He says, "Thank you for showing the armpit patties. Sell them in the shop on Sunday." That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Thank you very much, O'Reilly.
Angel said thanks.
Sub-Zero says hello. How you doing? Yeah, or just hot glue it, as someone said. Fred says, "Where does the chocolate go?" You don't want to know. That might be a bum crack patty. Oof. As the Welsh would say, "Ac a fi." See, I know some Welsh. Unfortunately, can't get it out. Dear. Bendy says, "I made my own Ethernet cables, and I have a crimp tool and cable stripper and cable tester." Yeah, it's bloody great. I love making my own Ethernet cables. Especially like if you're in your own home, or maybe you're living in a dorm or something, and you just want to get all your stuff wired up. It's just really cool to be able to just buy a big old box of cable, make it the cables you want to fit where you want, and have them all the right lengths, rather than having some kind of broadband installer come in and just like stamp them to the floor or whatever, because they don't have to make a mess. Where do they come from? Do they just come out of there? Have I taken screws out of something? Because I don't remember doing that. Where did they come from? Why have I got 2 random screws on the desk?
Did they fall out your armpit?
They're not from there. Oh, were they from the retention bracket? How many screws have I got in here? It looks like there's 4 in there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4 in there. So where the hell do they come from? Okay. Yeah. Yay, to random screws. In here somewhere? I don't know. If anybody knows where those random screws come from, please let me know. Alright, says Mike, the stream is going downhill.
What's the chocolate and cream say then?
What else would you expect? What's that, sorry?
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly,
What's
what?
the chocolate?
The chocolate and cream. Oh, no, you don't want to have. Don't order one of those, especially on a Saturday. Oof.
Are they screws to hold the armpit patties
Armpit patty screws.
closed as they could?
That's for you can go on Amazon. You can get an armpit patty bracket, which you just attach. It's like a GPU sag bracket. It stops your arm going all the way down. Maybe, I don't know. Hayden Trent says, well, you got more, above 100 viewers. Hey, 103 concurrent viewers. Bless you all on this Tuesday. See, armpit patties all the way. If we get 200 viewers, I'll make armpit patties on a stream.
What did he say?
Please don't get 200 viewers. Please don't. I don't really want to do that.
Oh, I thought that's what I'm making. Oh, I thought you were just calling them that.
Armpit patties. Right, I'm getting the screws now for the motherboard. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I know I haven't said it out loud, but for those of you that are watching, I am getting the screws. I need 9 of these, and these will be the fine threaded screws, not the coarse ones. That's always the thing, isn't it, with motherboards? You never really know what type of screw you're going to need to actually attach your motherboard. So I think the best thing to do now is if we lean this down, and I'll start putting the motherboard in, and we'll flip over to the overhead camera so you can see what's going on. Hopefully you can see that okay. There we go. I will move the offensive article out of the way. Actually, Kath,
Yeah.
can you find an arm pitch to put this in?
What is it?
The oh, I'm grabbing it by the head. Get rid of that thing.
Armpit.
Yeah. Right, those need to go back out of there. It's nice to have a bit of fun on your Tuesday afternoon, evening, morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. PC building is all a bit too serious at times, so it's nice to have a laugh. I'll put the board in. I've got a feeling I might need to actually remove that fan. Oh no, we're good. I think we're good. Yeah. Feels a little bit uneven in there for some reason. Maybe the board's just a little bit buckled. That'll be fine. Right, we'll start off with a screw in the middle. Just do it up hand tight sort of thing. Don't over tighten these at the moment because you might want to give the board a bit of a movement. There we go. Sometimes if these screws, if they don't start very well, just unscrew them a little bit and then screw them back in until you find the click. Yeah, see, that's not in there very well. What's getting caught up there? Oh, I think we're good. There we go. Hey Mark Gaines, how you doing? And hello to Joe Barnes. How you doing, Joe? Hopefully you didn't work too hard today. Definitely do not try and game when watching Mike. I'll take that as a compliment. Pac-Man says, hi Mrs. Hi Mike and chat, how you doing? Sorry, Kath just showed me an amusing GIF.
Amy didn't realise that's what we compare our food to.
10 hours and 30 minutes. Bloody tired out. Fair play. Well done. I've actually worked quite hard today, to be fair.
It's 1 PM in Alabama.
1 PM in Alabama. I like Alabama. I want to go there.
Mookie Mark.
Hey Mookie.
I didn't think it was possible, but a Tuesday live stream is actually more bawdy.
Is more what?
Bawdy. B-A-W-D-Y.
More baldy? You cheeky bastard.
You're in front of the camera, look.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's that. It's not spelled that way.
It's a Tuesday stream and you can get 50% more
Friday,
baldy on Ed. I'll tell you what, I'm screwing these things up, but I cannot see where the screwdriver actually is. There we go. It's Thursday in Hull, UK as weather's... Look, Thursday in Hull, UK as weather is supposed to be warmer. Cool. Oh, Mecha Cameron says, I'm in Alabama and I don't want to be here. Oh, that sounds great. Ravijot. Hey Mike, sorry for the sinful question. I like the sound of this already. But considering budget, what would you choose? 7600 with B580 or 12400F with 7800 XT level or both with a crap cheap motherboard. Under 700 quid on sales days. If you're into gaming, you're probably going to have to go with the 12400F. Because I think the 7800 XT is going to be significantly quicker than the B580. B680, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. If you're primarily gaming, I suppose you really got to focus on the gaming GPU. That makes a lot of sense. Difficult one to know for sure. It depends how crap the boards are, really. Like if they're really crap boards, then I don't know. It's almost worth looking at, like just waiting a little bit. Although saying that, these days if you wait, things are just going to get more and more expensive. So it's almost like the housing market is. Oh, that is most of the case panels falling on the floor. For anyone who's wondering. Gosh darn it. Right, that is in, so I think it's time to do some cable management, or at least trying to work out where some of these cables are going to end up going. So I'm going to try and do this inverted so you can see what's going on, but I definitely can't. It's probably not.
Glasses on as well.
Yeah, that's the kind of help I need right now. Right. So, case fans and RGB for the ones which are pre-installed already. I'm not sure where I'm going to take those into. I might take it into the bottom section. So we've got a fan connection here. We've got an ARGB here. We've also got fan connections up the top here and towards the bottom. So I'm not entirely sure. I kind of want to use CPU fan header number 1. Just because of the fact that when you go into any of the control software, you're going to see that. But in terms of making it look nice, maybe keeping the cables away from there might actually be beneficial. And it's going to be easier to cable manage if they go into the bottom section. So I'm actually going to pass them through the bottom here. This cable, it has got a split in it, but you can split it a bit more if needed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to put one of them into the fan header here at the bottom. And I put this one through. Oh, typical. Right. There, I've scuppered my plan already. Because Antec, in their divine wisdom, oh, God's sake, why do they do this? Right, these cutouts, to make them look nice, they've actually kind of rebated them or indented them. That indent is the difference between me getting this cable through the back or not. Now that is frustrating. So, probably not for the squeamish, but I'm actually going to bend this. And I really don't want to, but that might be the only answer. Oh, I can't quite get the leverage there either. I don't want to take the power supply out again.
Take it out.
Ooh. Actually, what I can do is, rather than bend it, if I get the cable in there pretty much where it needs to go, oh, actually, that little bit of bend in there just allowed it to flex enough for me to pass the cable through. So, that was easier said than done, but we got there.
Bendy ink machine.
Bendy case machine.
Yeah.
Bendy, where's Bendy? Managed to get 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30 by-win memory for under 200 quid. Was going to get Corsair Vengeance, but the cost went up substantially. Yeah, I've not tried any by-win RAM yet, other than their M.2 drives. I've been pretty impressed so far. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what your thoughts and opinions are on that. Because it's a well, to me it's a relatively new brand. I've not come across them before. But the M.2 drives seem to be surprisingly good. I shouldn't say surprisingly, because that's a bit disingenuous towards the brand, but yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be quite as good as they were. I thought it was just going to be, you know, just another brand on the market selling like cheap RAM or whatever.
Very stable and so far reliable.
Oh, that's good to hear. Do you know what chips are actually on it? Not that it really makes a great deal of difference, but
How robust are A-data RAM?
8 data RAM. I don't think I've actually used 8 data RAM actually. There's not many brands that I haven't used, but that is one of them. Ooh. This I'm not keen on. Right, that's going in the bottom slot. That's way too much of a bend.
Nick Barnes, surely all fan RGB connectors are the same size, so why make case without checking clearances?
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? It's just Antec being Antec. Oh, what am I doing? That's not a USB there, is it? That's a bloody front panel connector.
You need your beer glasses on.
The lighting in this room is awful. Potentially not as bad as my eyesight though. Right, how am I going to get this into here?
Mookie says a lot of US tariffs went into effect today. It's going to be hard to figure out what will cost what for a while.
Yeah, definitely there is going to be a large element of that going on. Right, now again, part of this daft idea, like I really don't like this case. I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. It's probably going to look nice when I've finished, like I said before, etc, etc, but it's just a pain in the ass to work with. Imagine trying to do a speed build in this. You'd have a nervous breakdown. And for anyone who's had a nervous breakdown, I commiserate. And if it's because of this case, I understand.
Bendy says I'm not sure, I didn't check what chips they use.
Ah, right, okay, no worries. I'm gonna see what's gonna go on here. So yeah, having to take all this out just to plug in a USB cable was a bit of a pain. Now, arguably you could say, well, it's not the case's fault because all motherboards are built differently, which I would understand that. But this is Cases are supposed to be designed with ease of use in mind. Frustrating.
Next camera, my is like a run of EVGA 980 Ti with power supply under 600 watts.
You probably could do, but it's probably not a great idea. You want to have a little bit of juice in reserve, if you can. Right.
Tony the runner.
Got it.
Is a
We're in.
DDR5 worth it for i5 12400F build?
No, definitely not. Because the 12400F isn't much quicker than a 5600 Ryzen. And you wouldn't dream of running DDR5 with that. That makes it a very expensive platform for basically minimal gains. Right, so that is actually in there okay. Although, if I ever need to remove that front USB connection, I probably will cry. The funny thing is as well, that probably some of you don't realise with this, when I do these builds, I generally, when I go to sell them, I say to the buyer, look, if you want to see it being built in a live stream, here's the link. And potentially they'll be watching this to see how it all went. Not sure if I'll be saying that on this one.
R48, is it?
Yeah.
It's really bad of Antec to make those holes so minimal.
It's not so much that they're minimal, it's just that it's poorly positioned. They've tried to make a dual tank case with a single side. It should be a dual chamber. Single chamber just doesn't do it for this design. Just there isn't enough room. And like this front USB connection is so long, it's ridiculous. Right, let's see if we can get the Type C connection in. Where is that going to be? Is this actually got a Type C? Oh yeah, it is there. Okay.
Should I get the peanut M&Ms and see if you can catch them in your mouth while you're doing that?
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. I don't know why we haven't thought that before.
Before I bonk you on the head with one and you pass out. How do I turn the camera off? Does it rescue
That
you?
don't look very good, does it? That looks a bit, yeah. Although saying that, the graphics card's going to be under there, so yeah, no, we'll be alright. She'll be alright, mate.
That case needs help.
This case needs help. It does. It needs something.
Mookie thinks the other Antec case you reviewed would have been better build for this.
It would have been. I agree 100%. But the other case, oh no, I've got to get the front panel audio through there as well. Luckily, I have bent it sufficiently so I can actually get that through there. Oh, I've got to unplug that now. Yeah, this is just, it just sucks.
Hello, Dave.
This case is doing all the wrong things in all the right places.
You are good boy.
I nearly went out and bought this myself.
Yeah.
I'm glad I never.
Hey, Poppy.
Oh, for God's sake, this is horrendous.
Come away from there, Pops. Poppy.
Right, got it. Ow! Sharp.
Sharper than an M&M peanut.
Definitely sharper than an M&M peanut. Ow! Right, we're kind of getting somewhere now, I feel. Or I fear, one of the two. Right, I'm going to take that through out the back.
David Underhill, fun fact, the so-called Type C connector is actually a Type E socket.
What? Yeah, I suppose, yeah. It is a strange shape as well, isn't it?
Hey, Poppy.
Oh, this is a nightmare. This cable is literally just slightly too short. And almost guaranteed to get pulled. Oh, actually, no, I think. Now that does look a bit jank there, doesn't it? It's a bit tight. Right, I don't care anymore. I just want to get it done. I've had enough now. Right, front panel connectors. Here we go. Spectacle time.
Yeah, there is no link to the. Oh, is it? Hold on. Oh, yeah.
David Underhill says it's too early in the morning for PC builds. It's too late in the afternoon for it here. Or evening. Oh, and I forget as well, you got the Gigabyte do their own thing, don't they, with the front panel connectors. So I'm going to need some kind of illumination device. Ah, I know, I can use a Mike's Unboxing pen with light, which actually isn't that bright. So what have we got here? God, how am I supposed to see that? Clear
Mark Games, I put the link in the chat.
Okay.
You can't find the link to the PayPal.
Okay.
Description. It is in there. I didn't think it was.
Hard drive LED. It used to be in there, unless we did remove some links recently because some of the videos were a bit too long in terms of the description.
5:45 in the morning for David Underhill. Too early in the morning for PC builds.
Yeah, I read that. Power LED. There we go.
Put your specs on.
I don't think they'll help. It's purely an illumination thing. Okay, well that's not too untidy so far. I think we've managed to keep it relatively neat. I'm not particularly keen on that bit there, but hopefully we'll be able to cable manage that. The back is looking absolutely horrendous. Like really bad. So graphics card. Right, let's pull the graphics card ones through underneath. There's just not enough room to work with here. And it would be really good. Yeah, a bad workman always blames his tools. I don't know if this plastic bit actually pops out. It doesn't. It seems like I'm forcing it. And it feels like there's a rivet or a screw there. So that isn't going to come out. So I'm going to leave that where it is for now. And let's look at the wiring. See, the thing is with this, because it's a... Actually, I'll tip it over so you can see what I can see. Dear Lord. Let's go to the overhead camera. So, as you can see, this is an absolute abomination in terms of cable management now. Because all these cables were like really super long. So I could have taken those kind of like all around the outside of there. And in fact, I might even do that. But that still kind of works. If I can close the back panel. And it gets some of this out of the way. So yeah, I might end up actually doing that. Let's move that out of the way. So what cables do we need? So we need the EPS connector. This one I've deliberately done kind of towards the outside edge to give us the best fighting chance of actually getting that to go into the location it needs to. So that's fine, because that's taking up basically no room in there at all. And we'll probably end up folding that and cable in that under there. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm stuck in there now. Right, bend round, bend there, and bend there. There we go. Yeah, that's looking great. That's fantastic. There's a super chat going on, so I don't know. Woohoo! Exciting. Don't know what's going to happen. Do we get to retire early? We do. Mark Gaines, amazing. Mark Gaines has sent us a £40 donation. Thank you so much, Mark.
I don't think it says anything.
That is so appreciated. Has he left a comment or anything?
Don't
Like,
think so.
Get on with it, Baldy. Get your peanut M&Ms and your pancake. Awesome. Thank you very much, Mark Gaines. What a lovely man. I don't care what it says in the toilets. I think he's great. It doesn't say anything in the toilets, to be fair. Right, that is going to be our main ATX power. So we can run that kind of up here. because we know it's going to be somewhere in that region. So then we can concentrate on the two leftovers, which are the power supply for the GPU. So that is going to be poking up through a hole at the bottom there, which I can't really get to that easily from here, but I'll see what I can do. So we can pass that down through there. Mecha Cameron says the most critical part of every build, the cable management. I agree totally. Cable management for me is one of those things that if I, even for PC, is like a really good value. If I can't cable manage it, it just really bothers me. And these little trunk holes are very small.
Cables at the back don't look that bad, probably because the white cable's on one piece.
Yeah, to be fair, you're probably right there actually. At the moment it seems a lot worse than it actually is. But I've got a lot of cable to deal with here. And that's one of those cables through. I'm glad I didn't choose a triple slot or a triple power version. I think I would have cried. And also I guess this would be better as well for the new 12 volt high power connection. Oh god damn it. I can feel my sciatic nerve clenching. Right, okay. And the SATA cable is fine because that just goes into the SATA plug just here. Now if this was a PC that I was planning to keep for myself, almost 100% right now I'd be getting a knife out and I'd just chop those extra plugs off because I obviously don't need them. But because it potentially is going to be going on to someone else, I can't really do that as much as I really want to. So we can bunch these up though, so they won't take up as much room. They still will take up more room than I would like them to. So let's grab our cable ties. I think I might be getting the cable ties out slightly prematurely, but I bought a bunch of them which were actually quite cheap, so worst case scenario I can just disconnect them anyway. At least if we bunch things up now, it hopefully might make things a little bit easier, especially as we get towards the kind of the finale of trying to get the case back on. Senior Mobius, hi there. Just force installed Windows 11 Pro on an incompatible older laptop. Do you think when 10 Pro key will validate still, as there isn't a free upgrade pack? Yes, it will. And if you get your key from premiumcdkeys.com/Mike's Unboxing, links in the chat there, I'll just put it in for you. You can get a license key for about £3 for Windows 10 Pro. You save yourself an absolute fortune on those keys. And they work. And if they don't, they actually will get in touch with you and say, oh, we're terribly sorry.
Please. You get in touch with them and they will send you another.
They'll get in touch with you and they'll send you another, or they'll send you a massive thing of champagne and caviar and say, like, we're really sorry, but please accept this caviar and champagne.
That's what you get for telling lies.
There you go. Instant karma, ladies and gentlemen. When you tell lies, that is what happens. Right, let's go back to the main camera. And we'll flip this around now. So it's actually starting to come together. We've got these cables, which I'm guessing are probably going to be too long.
Bendy Ink Machine got their Windows 11 Pro using your link.
Nice one.
Buy 10 is cheaper.
Buy 10. Buy them all.
No, buy Windows 10.
Oh yeah, buy Windows 10 Pro. Because Windows 10 Pro will also activate Windows 11 as well. So yeah, there's no point spending a load of money on stuff. Save money where you can, and you can buy things like, you think the amount of money you can potentially save by buying one of our license keys, well not ours, but one of the keys from Premium CD Keys. If you're buying it from, say, another YouTuber, let's say, you're probably saving about 15 to 20 quid. So that could be another set of RAM, or maybe another fan, or I don't know.
Set of RAM?
A set of RAM. You get 2 RAMs.
What, for 15 quid?
Well, no, but you could upgrade from like a 16 to a 32, because 16 gig to 32 is like, they're almost the same price. It's bizarre. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing. Right.
Thanks, Mike. I will give it a try. You're a great help, dude.
No worries. Glad to help.
Rubber chops off.
Let's put the graphics card in. I'm going to line that up. Is that in the open position? Yes, it is. And hopefully this will just snap into place. Good stuff. And even though I thought there was going to be plenty of room for the graphics card, but it actually still looks a bit tight.
Arnold G says Win 11 keys tend to be more legit. Add a bad 10 rarely as they are ramping down, but they send you good ones. We always use 10s, don't we?
Yeah, I don't think I've bought a Windows 11 key yet. Ever.
We've had a problem with one key, haven't we, so far?
Yeah.
And they sent it straight through.
They are pretty good, to be fair. Now,
Mike leaves it last minute before selling.
I do. I've got the person. I don't buy the keys until they're about to come through the door to buy the damn thing, which is probably a mistake on my behalf. But you know what it's like. If someone says, "Oh yeah, I'll buy this," and they don't, and they let you down, then I don't know if I'm going to sell the PC. I might take it apart. I might do another build with it or something. So there's no point in me buying a license key until it's literally kind of about to leave the house. Ooh. Oh, that is going to be a bit of a bend, and it's on a weird angle.
Bendy, and you've even got another license key for my friend. I'm building him an AM5 computer.
Ah, cool. I'll say the Windows keys, like pretty much all aspects of YouTube shillery, I detest with a passion. Detest even. But the license keys, I do feel pretty passionate about, because there are so many channels which are like trying to like, oh, get 30% off with our discount code. It's like, yeah, but you still need at least like 100% off to be even close to a decent price. How does that look?
Wolfman, I'm assuming he's talking about that. Tighter the better. Looks better than a big gap.
Yeah. Does that look okay, or does that look stupid? I don't like that angle. I'm having a white, having a white power supply. Having a black power supply. Looks good. Someone said.
Yeah.
Sir Chris Kingle. I can't even read that out.
Sir Chris Kringle.
Sir Chris Kingle. God, can you put gaps or punctuation?
Or just capital letters on the new
Just,
words.
yeah, capitalise the new words. That makes my life easier.
Sir Chris.
Yeah, that kind of sucks a bit. I don't mind it too bad, but I suppose if anything, the angle of that against the angle of that kind of makes almost like a spear tip, or a what's the thing on the keyboard that looks like, yeah, like the back arrow sort of thing.
Greater than, less than.
Less than, yeah, it's like the less than sign. Although
You need to go from fans to GPU.
yeah, I'm thinking they would be better to go through there, but then I've got no chance whatsoever of getting that back panel on.
If they were white cables, would look fine, but yeah, that looks a bit.
That is the problem with cases these days. Having a black and white case, unless you go for everything white, something's always going to stick out like a sore thumb. I think personally. Very round. Now I was considering putting cable extensions on here, but I've got no room to put cable extensions at all. That just isn't going to be a thing. So I'm not going to attempt that, because there's literally not enough room. But I'm tempted to plug in the extensions just to show you how nice it could have looked. But I'm almost tempted to put in another power supply. What do you think? Is it worth putting in another power supply, do you think? The other power supply doesn't have dual connectors though for the graphics card. It only has a single, which I'd have to piggy, what's it called through it? What's the word I'm looking for? Daisy chain. That's the word I'm looking for. It's been a long day. I need a beer.
It's the V in EVG.
Won't the RGB sort of hide it? It might do.
Seems odd they decided to make a cable cutout in that place.
Sinister Chef says it's the V in the EVGA. I like where you're going with that. Right, let's do the EPS connector.
Not another option to pull your cable through.
Not really.
Stay as you are, Mike. You're overthinking it.
I am. I could do the cables up through the top, but I think that would look possibly even worse.
No need for a different PSU. Just route power next to 24-pin connector as flat cables.
I might be able to do that. The only trouble is if I do that, because the cables are, because they're pigtail cables, I'm not going to have enough length between that pigtail and that pigtail to hide that. So that's going to end up being almost exactly there. I'll try one.
Okay, just cut it off.
It's tempting. Oh man, there's just not enough room to work in this. Yeah, I can quite happily say, Antec, this is bullshit. Actually, can I?
Sleeve, if anything, would look good with the black subtly peeking through.
Might be able to get it through there.
Oh dear, just use the one cable there, lol.
No, because I'll get flamed in the chat. Right, that might work actually.
Do you reckon it will, Otis?
Because I can kind of hide that bit. Does that look better?
Function over form. No, never mind. Faces of floor.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
It's beginning to look like one of your more frustrating efforts.
It is. It is just doing my head in. I'm actually quite pissed off with this.
Sir Chris Kringle. That works. Cameron, I agree, you might actually be overthinking this.
Me?
W. Denton, do you have a black cooler?
No, it's just the way my trousers hang. Sorry, couldn't resist that. There we go.
Come and say hello, Oats.
How's that?
Okay.
I think that actually works in a majority of ways. Defo better looking, says Rasher. That's bloody lovely. 1,000 times better, says Sunny Side Up. See, sometimes a little bit of faffing is working. It can work.
How does a rasher find you?
Yeah, that is awesome. And actually, that helps in multiple ways because actually it takes up some of that cable bunching which would have otherwise been stuffed in the basement. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. Right, I'm happy. Hello?
That's Rasher, how he finds you when he's...
Yeah, Rasher, how do you like... what's the stream like now you're not drunk? Is it okay? Is it bearable? Do you feel the urge to go and take any pharmaceuticals?
Well, Bob actually does look better.
Yeah,
Bendy,
that's made it for me.
much better. Rasher, I'm jealous.
Oh, the only thing is that is a little bit close now to the fans. I think it'll be alright.
Ultra wides,
I'm just glad I didn't go trying to vertical mount it. I think I would have. I'd have been very upset.
Rasher says you drinking and I'm up at 6 AM for work. Tables have turned.
The tables have turned. Yeah.
Dave has turned upside down.
Dave, you're so
Dave.
funny.
Dave's airing his monkey out on top of the Antec box. He's so sweet, like my pancakes, which Kath ain't made yet.
We're waiting for Angel.
Oh, look at that instant buck passing. I've taught them well.
Mail Hacker, are you still installing fans in the top?
I think I should. I think it looks a bit empty without the fans on the top. Do you think? Someone let me know.
What would a drunk mic build look like?
Well, probably this. You wouldn't notice a difference. It'd be the same. Just it'd probably have like bits of blood on it.
Glenn says yes for top fans.
Yeah, I think the top fans are required, and also it makes a nice big space on my shelf to fill with something else. Cats. More bloody cats.
What about an AIO?
Now, don't get me started. I do actually. No. How can I phrase this? Right. The plan is, if this PC performs very well, and if I think there's enough budget in it, I might get one of those Thermalright AIOs. You know the cheaper ones from Thermalright? They're about 40 quid, 50 quid. Like the cooler owes me in at about £15. So if I spend 50 on a AIO, I've got to obviously increase the price. Now potentially it might help the PC sell better, but having said that, there's a lot of people which don't like the idea of water cooling. So I'm kind of torn between them really.
Can you say the names of those fans again, Glenn?
The names of these fans, so these are the block module. Actually, where's the bit on the box? These are the Jungle Leopard Module 120. That's always on there. I think they're under a different name as well, but yeah, Jungle Leopard Module 120. And these are like really cheap as well.
They're in the description.
Kath has put them in the video description, so if you want to check out the pricing.
Only the runner. Now that EVGA is no longer making GPUs, who's the next best option?
That's a tough question. I honestly don't know. That is, I think it's one of those things where that is very much open to, oh god, the chair just sunk. Open to interpretation. There's quite a few brands that I quite like, but I don't know. And that only goes on one way. Sorry.
Trent says, I got the Thermalright 120mm Vision. It's the air cooler with the little screen. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
25 quid.
Yeah, I've seen those. They look pretty good. Sorry, I'm replying to Hayden Trent, in case anybody's wondering.
Vader Racing, is that a Deepcool CPU cooler?
Yes, it is.
And our Wolfman, the white cooler doesn't fit with the build.
It kind of does, but it kind of doesn't. I know where you're coming from with that.
It does look a bit
I think,
creamy coloured compared to the rest of the whites as well.
yeah, the fan surround is like an off-white.
On camera, maybe. Would those fans be suitable for AIO radiators?
No. Not these, no.
Maybe if you have black and white fans.
I was trying to edge myself away from blackness, but oh, come on, get out.
Do you want me to do it?
I shouldn't have held this here. Alright, we'll get a screw in. It needs one screw because it's a big block fan. Oh. One screw for 3 fans. That's the kind of build I like.
The actual wired microphone tonight.
I'm always a wired microphone.
Not on stream.
Well, a wired wireless one. It's a wireless mic, but it's got a mic thing into it. There's the quality of these fans. I'm just doing the screw and it just keeps on going round and round and round. Round and round it goes. Nobody knows. Sorry?
You said you're trying to...
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away. Well, I wanted to try and make it as white as possible in there. Obviously with the graphics card, it's hard to really do that. Might even need a sag bracket in there as well. Yeah. It's a tricky one. This would have been much better in a black case. Because we've got black RAM, black GPU, black motherboard, black power supply, can't see that. You can see the cables though. I'm starting to fall out of love with white cases really. Because it's such a pain in the ass. And also in terms of like, for doing builds, I end up having to have like one white GPU, one black GPU, one white power supply, one black power supply, some black RAM, some white RAM. It's like, oh man. It's really annoying. Black shoes, black pants, Cadillac. That sounds very Soho of you. I don't even know what Soho means.
That way.
That's a place in London where all the thingies hang out. The ladies of ill repute. In the dark it will look great with all the RGB glowing. Well, that is what I'm hoping for. The thing is, ultimately, RGB is the thing that sells, because it's like anything. You walk past a showroom for a car, and if it's just like a dull ass car there, you won't take no notice. But if it's got loads of jazzy lighting and stuff, you're like, oh, what's going on there?
No, you think, oh, all the more to be wrong.
Yeah.
That's going to cost him a fortune.
Ray Bob says, Mike, those cheaper Thermalright 360 AO are great, but the fitted fans, whilst look great, above 50%, they are noisy AF. I have said this before, actually, when I reviewed the fans on their own. I said, like, the fans themselves, some of them, well, there's one version, I think it's the C12Ws, they're basically rubbish, because you can spin them at, like, the full speed, and they still don't move much air at all. But yeah, the other ones, they're okay, but they just get a bit noisy at higher volume. And some people don't like that. I don't. I'm quite susceptible, whatever the word is, to noise. I don't like it. So I try to build cases that don't suffer from noise issues where possible.
Right, have those fans got infinity mirrors, rush your ass?
They have. They have got infinity mirrors, which you'll just about hopefully be able to see at the top, which will hopefully take your eyes off the graphics card and the black motherboard and the black RAM.
The white cooler.
And the white cooler. Let's scooch this on.
Black is easier to match or add extra colours, but white
Yeah.
has too many shades.
Yeah, white is really difficult to do. And also now I need like a blanking plate or something for that crap. Oh dear Lord.
In New York City,
Right.
Soho means south of Houston.
Oh right, south of Houston. So south of Houston, what's that? Is that like ghetto or something? I'm not quite sure of the lingo. Maybe I've misinterpreted that. You have to let me know.
I think the black is going to set the RGB off there.
I think it might. Well, we'll find out very, very shortly, because I'm going to fire this up and we'll see what it's like. I think it's going to be challenging for cable management. It's going to be a suitcase job, that's for sure. Right, I need a power cable. Excuse me.
Nick Barnes.
Nick Barnes. What's Nick Barnes saying? Nick Barnes, daft question, but do you set the exhaust fan speeds low and the intake high speed to soak up the heat from the motherboard? To be honest with you, it depends entirely on the kind of the case and its kind of airflow characteristics. So on this one, because we've got actually, yeah, I'm glad you've just said that, because at the moment I've got the fans all connected to the same header. So I'm not going to have any real control. So you can have 3 at the top exhausting, 1 at the back exhausting, and also the 3 there as intake. So it's going to be a little bit unbalanced anyway. But they're all on the same header, so they're all going to spin about the same speed. Ultimately, it's just about getting a clean amount of air through the system in a short amount of time if you can. This is probably a bad setup. Although if we had an AIO, that would add another layer of complexity to it. Right, I'm going to fire this up. We'll see what it's like.
Like a Cameron says, I was using Soho in a bad British reference.
Oh, right.
South of Kingston is new to me.
Okay.
The south of Houston Street is what Dan Mara said.
Ah, right, okay.
And Rick Wellybob says, lay the case flat so we can see you struggle with the cable management.
Oh, definitely. That is going to happen, because I don't think I'm going to have a hope in hell's chance otherwise. So let's turn the...
Bang!
Oh. Let's see if it actually works. I'm thinking it will. But I don't seem to have a lot of RGB going on at the moment. Did I actually plug in the RGB? I did. Hello, McFly. Ah, it might be on the RGB button. Where's the RGB button? There we go.
Bang!
Hey, there we go.
Sorry, did I scare
So if I press and hold it, that should now be on motherboard control. Although the motherboard is still thinking about something. Ah.
So our Wolfman said, side intake.
I know what went wrong.
Side intake, top and rear exhaust.
No.
Rises.
It does.
And then Nick Brown says, can the top fans be speed controlled by separate motherboard header?
Yes. Yeah, I could plug them into another header, and I might actually do that. But first of all, I need to plug in the EPS connector, otherwise this thing's never going to power up. That was something that I definitely forgot.
I haven't heard bang in a while.
I haven't had a bang in a while.
Fortunately, nor have I.
Yeah, Cam says neither has she. Oh, I should have done this before.
What? Not on stream.
No, plug this in before I put those bloody fans in. I was looking at the cable thinking I should have put that in. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Right, so there we go. Right. That sounds better already. We have the whoosh of air. We have a sprinkling of RGB. Now, being that this is Gigabyte, and I wouldn't 100% say that I've actually put the connector on the bottom correctly. I thought I had. I must have done, because it wouldn't go in. Oh yeah, there we go. We have lights. Dun dun dun. Look at that. Let's turn the lights out in a minute so you can see what it looks like. Excuse me. Wow. It's a candy floss machine. Fans need a little bit of tweaking, but you can see the infinity lights at the top. Oh, it's rebooting again. Oh, I just realised we've got some EVGA RGB as well.
That was on the other RGB as well.
That must be... there you go. There's something else I've got to work out how to control in the software. Why have I still got an RGB light on? It's probably because I haven't got a graphics card plugged in. I quite like those fans at the top. There's a lot of light coming off them. There we have it. I'm not sure what that LED is though. I've probably broken something. I have to get a light on. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Sorry.
Let's get the.
Put the light on there.
Yes, please. The diagnostic LEDs on these boards is absolutely tiny, so I'm gonna have to try to put my fingers in there. Actually, I've got no idea what that is. Oh yeah, VGA. As expected, VGA. That's because there's no graphics card connected. So let's connect up a graphics card. Not a graphics card, a monitor rather. Where did I put that? There we are.
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming. Who said that? Mecca, come on. Give me a break. Underwhelming.
Can MSI sensor control the RGB on an EVGA graphics card?
No.
If not, is there some software to do it since EVGA is out of the graphics card business?
Yeah, probably OpenRGB would do it. Probably Signal RGB as well. Let's go to HDMI 3 and we'll do a reboot. And let's see if we get a display. Oh, I pressed the reset. I thought, yeah, I pressed the reset button, thinking it was the power button. You know, I pressed the RGB button, thinking it was the reset button. Is what I was meant to say.
Signal, are we? Is that what we know?
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Try again. So, CPU light. RAM initialized. RAM gone to VGA, and hopefully we'll get a display. Oh, looks like it's going between the two.
Good night.
Hey, there we go. We have a display.
You go night, Pops.
Very good. Can they actually hear me? Have I got that muted now? Hello? Oh yeah, you can hear me. That's fine. And it's yeah, it looks like the BIOS has been significantly reset. So yeah, that appears to be working. Happy days. Let's go back to main camera. There we go. So yeah, it works. We've got a display. Thank goodness for that.
Looks nice, but that PC behind you on the shelf is definitely more my taste.
It's more my taste as well, I'll be honest with you. This is very much, well, if you look at the price differences, so actually I need to total up the price on this. What can let's rub out the board a minute and I'll total up the prices so we can work out what this actually has cost and what potentially we could sell for.
Hippie, what are you doing?
These will be UK prices obviously because we're in the UK, but Americans, you can play along as well because basically with the tariffs on, you'll probably be paying the same soon. So, I will do my usual board of tricks. Actually, let's move this over. I don't need that.
Have you done that on a stream before anyway, haven't
I haven't actually, no.
board of tricks. That's
So,
unusual too.
cost, retail, and sell. So we've got CPU, we got Mobo, RAM, SSD, GPU, case, PSU, cooler, fans. Oh, what else we got? That'll do. So the CPU cost us £145. Retail price on the 7700 around about 250 to 270. So I'll say 260 in between. The motherboard, I'm not entirely sure what I paid for that. I think it was about 130. Retail is about the same, so 130. The RAM 55. Retail is about 95. It's probably 100, but it's close enough. The SSD in here was about 40, and they're still the same now. The GPU was 270, I think. So I'll say 270 because that's kind of what they go for. The case cost me nothing, but it's about £100 to buy. The power supply cost me 30, and they cost 60 to buy. The cooler is 15, and the retail on that's probably about 20. And the fans, no idea. They didn't cost me anything, so I'll say 20 quid for argument's sake. So I think that's pretty much everything. I need some form of adding all this up. Oh. Why is my... that's... oh, God. Right, calculator time. Come on, calculator. No camera. I don't want camera. Been a long day. Right, cost prices. So 145 plus 130 plus 55 plus 40 plus 270 plus 30 plus 15 equals. So actual cost to me, what I've actually paid out is £650. Well, 649 for argument's sake. So let's see what it's actually kind of what the retail price would be. So 260 plus 130 plus 95 plus 40 plus 270 plus 100 plus 60 plus 20 plus 20 plus equals 995. So if you were to buy this system, basically all the stuff new as much as you possibly could, it's going to cost you £1,000 effectively. But regardless of what it costs, and also regardless of what the value is, it's only ever going to be worth as much as what someone's going to buy it for. So I think I would probably try to sell this at maybe 750. I think at 750 it would go. If I advertised it at 8, I would have someone try and knock me down. But I think around about 750 would be about right. So then that kind of covers roughly what the case would have cost, the extra 100. So then I can get another case. So yeah, 650 plus 100, 750. So I think if I can get 750 for it, I would be pretty happy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I barking up the wrong tree altogether? Probably. But yeah, let us know. Let's have a look what some of you are saying, because I haven't looked at the chat for a little while, and I'm going to pack some of this stuff away as well. Make some room. Such a mess building a PC, innit? Always makes a lot of mess. At least I do. Does that go that way or that way? No, it goes that way. Oh. Is a little bit. Is that on the lowest setting?
No, it's on the highest.
Oh, well done.
It gets quite smoky from it.
Right, comments. Looks nice, that PC behind you on the shelf. Oh yeah, since Pcie. Oh, I agree. Mac Camera says, but it does take away from some of that excess white. Okay. Ira Wolfman says, at least it's not a Gigabyte PSU.
What would Dutch Jan think of it?
What would Dutch Jan think? Ira Wolfman says sell for 750 to 850. Time and labour, priceless. Some black tape would do the job. Advertise at 850, so you have some wiggle room. Roderick says 825 with Windows 11. Craig says sounds like a fair price. Mecha Cameron says I'd spend 800 US. Mark says advertise at 800, and then you get knocked down to 750. They think they're getting a bargain. I think, to be honest with you, at 750 they would be getting a bargain regardless. I actually quite like this. I've still got to do the cable management yet. I might not like it so much. Great price and room for upgrades when the time comes. Would be good for a while. short 1080p. Yeah, and our porter says it took 2 hours to build, so $850 is a good price. Do you give a warranty? I do, bizarrely. Well, I do and I don't. So all of the components which are new or newish, I will warranty those. So if, say for instance, the motherboard or someone gets a problem with it, I will send it back to Amazon on their behalf, or I'll go through the troubleshooting. Also as well, I do offer all customers free upgrades and free diagnostics. So if they buy a PC, they manage to wreck it, I'll take it in free of charge and do a diagnostic on it, but I will make a video on it. So obviously I've got to try and make some of my time and effort back. But parts they pay for if they've damaged anything. If it's something under warranty, then I'll try and do the warranty stuff. Some things are easier to warrant than others. So like the RAM, obviously with RAM, most places got a lifetime warranty. So it's usually pretty easily transferable as long as you've got some proof of purchase. Graphics card would be a hard one because, yeah, it is what it is. Used graphics cards or second-hand graphics cards, there's not a lot you can do. The case is going to be pretty much bomb-proof. The power supply's got a 5-year warranty, probably directly with Gigabyte, or I might be able to do something with eBay. I doubt it, but more than likely through Gigabyte it'll be fine. What else? Processor, it's got a 1-year warranty with AMD, so those are generally pretty much bomb-proof. To be honest with you, it's very rarely that most people will get a problem within the first year. Unless the PC's been built badly, defective parts these days are quite a rarity. They're either dead on arrival or they'll last. And hopefully, touch wood, this will last. Although, you never know. So yeah, I think it's alright. I like it. Let's press the power button and hopefully it'll turn itself off. You never know. Yay! So, power management's working. That's a plus. Now, let's try and actually get some cable management done on this thing. This is not going to be pretty, so I say in advance, this will suck. A lot. Let's get rid of some of this other crap on the table as well. Because the less crap on the table, the easier it's going to be. Or at least in my mind.
My PC is on blink. I think it's a loosen that on the keyboard.
There's so many ways you could take that. I still don't know what those other 2 screws are from. I'm assuming they must be out of the case somehow, but I don't know.
What about any of the panels or anything you took off?
No, it's just 2 really weird looking screws, which I don't know where they're from, but I did put them in the bag, or yeah, in with this lot, I think. That's so weird. And they look like they're the same type as the Antec ones, but I don't know what they're from. Very bloody strange. Right, let's attempt to cable manage this thing. Actually, I need beer first. Oh, where's the beer gone? Ah, there it is. It's nice and warm now.
Got some more ice. Was there a corner killer on that Antec case?
No. No, it's got a what they refer to as a
Gin glass.
beveled thin glass. So there's a 45-degree bevel there, so the 2 pieces of glass match up almost exactly, which is nice. Right, let's flip this over and we'll take a look. Beer in a wine glass, bloody heathen. Sorry.
It's a gin glass.
It's a gin glass anyway. It's basically it's the wrong glass, but we don't mind. It's fine. Life goes on. Hopefully. Right, so cable management. I'm going to put some of that over there. So those will be okay. Do I take those over that way now? What are the thoughts on that?
There's one ready, Mum.
I think I will.
Are you ready for your pancake?
No.
Are you having one?
I don't know. Bit biz. Right, that is not quite long enough. That's a shame. So the front I/O is a bit on the... actually, I don't really need to kind of cable manage it too much, do I? I'm only making a rod for my own back. It's not like anyone's going to take it apart and go, oh, look at the mess inside there. You bloody heathen. With your wine glass. See, I'm tempted to move that. I don't think that's going to help much, is it? Kind of like, if I could just push that down there, all the wires would be fine. I think. Well, it's not very tidy, is it? But let me see if the back panel goes on. If the back panel goes on, I might just wing it and leave it like that. Yeah. With the screws in, that'll be fine. So I'm just going to do that. I'm not gonna fuss about it too much, because it's well, it doesn't need to be a work of art. Hello MK Ultra, how you doing? Dave says do it. It's not really pushing out on there, so it's actually alright. I'm surprised that went on. And it still looks reasonable. Nothing's really pushed through. That has come through a little bit, I think. With the glass in place. Where did the glass go? There we go.
Good night. So, do you want or not want?
What's that?
Pancakes?
Yeah, go on then. I might have to wait until after I'm done here. 2, 3. How big are they? Don't worry then. Just have yours then, I don't mind. I got my peanuts M&M's later, so I'm going to treat myself to those.
That big.
That's alright, don't worry, you have them. I'm not bothered. I'll go without, for the sake of the family. So I think that is, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to plug it back in, make sure it still works. Don't see any reason why it wouldn't. No, makes the computer turn off though. Let's have a look. Oh, need to plug in that again, don't I? Otherwise it'll get upset. And it still works. I thought it would. Oh, there's a RGB controller here, which came with those fans. That is actually something which is quite handy to keep. Just to plug in a SATA cable in, just so I can do some various different RGB effects on a case. But I won't. I always put all the accessories and all the spares, all that kind of stuff. I always put it back in the original boxes, because otherwise I'll end up with so much crap here. It would be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Put the side on, simple solution. There we go. If the back fits, it's cable managed. I agree. Craig says, just calculated the price of my PC build. £560, got the Ryzen 5500, 32 gigabytes of RAM, RTX 4060, and 3 500 gig SATAs, and an NVMe, 700 watt power supply, and a case from Amazon. Happy days. You're off to the races. PC 2022 says, hello MK Ultra, Mike and Gaff. David Underhill says, near enough is good enough. Standard solution for PC builders. He needs food. We have the biggest cyclone in 50 years just east of me. Ooh dear. Well, I hope you're getting okay with that. Peter Burston, how is the cable management in the case? Just got here. Honestly, I would say probably there isn't like a 2-word or a phrase or anything which can really sum it up. It's challenging, is what I would say is the my honest answer. I would, well, if you haven't got the room, I would probably maybe look at another case because it is challenging. And if we went with a bigger graphics card or potentially wanted to upgrade to a bigger graphics card in the future, I think it would be problematic. Although, arguably, if you use a graphics card which uses the 12 volt high power, I think that would make life a lot easier. Cable management in general is okay, it's manageable, you can do it, but there are a lot of considerations to take on board, and depending on your setup, like if you're using cable extensions for your power supply, forget it. I don't think there's going to be room for that at all. Like, the case is okay, it's not really bowing out very much at the moment, but there's quite a lot in there. And it seems to be running pretty cool. There's no power management or anything, the graphics card isn't under any load or anything, so it's okay. But yeah, it's not as tidy as I'd have liked it to have been. I do like it when there's a case where you've got like channels to route all your cables through. Ultimately, if you like this style of case, and this is the kind of look you're aiming for, then it is actually an okay build. But it's a lot of money for the case. The case is like best part of 100 quid. Given the choice, I would probably go with the Antec Flux, which is the same price but bigger, but you can put more in it. Obviously, a lot more room as well. I would probably as well prefer the Montec 903 Max Air. Like, it's not quite as pretty a case, but functionally, much better cooling out of the box. Almost half the price. It's £60 these days on Amazon and places like that. But it is bigger, so you can grow into it more. But yeah, there's some things like this, like rubber grommets would be good, but you're probably never going to be able to see them. Yeah, just a few little quirks with this case. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I did make some concessions. I did go with a 140mm power supply and a modular one, so I had a fighting chance. If we were routing the power supply for the graphics card up through the basement, as is kind of intended, I think that would have been a lot more challenging to get the cables managed in there correctly. Although I think this looks nicer with the cables as they are, with it routed in through that way. It doesn't affect the performance thermally at all. They are kind of just hanging there, which isn't great, but yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, it's a PC that is cost way under £1,000, which, if you want a PC to look really nice, you've got to be spending £1,000 or more generally to get this kind of level of performance, and also to get something which looks nice as well. Ordinary Dude says, do you have any experience with GameMax power supplies? Yes, lots of experience. They've been pretty good. There are some which are better than others. So the GP range are bloody awful, don't touch them. But the Rampage and the ARGB ones, they're pretty good. Some of the newer ones I've not had a chance to take a look at yet, so I'm not too sure about those. But in general, I think it's okay. Right, I think, how long have we been streaming for now? What time is it even? Comes out 9 o'clock. Okay, it's not too bad. At least it doesn't look like a rat's nest. No, that is true. It does look quite tidy, I think. I've seen worse, and I've built worse. I know I have. But ultimately, I've got to try and make it look nice so that, obviously, I need someone to buy it, is the ultimate thing. I am still umming and ahhing about taking the power supply out and putting a white one in there. I might do that before it sells, but then saying that, it does balance up the black and the white a little bit in there. I'm almost tempted to put it into a black case, but I probably won't. It's just too much effort. Mark says, Mike, the Lian Li Edge power supply, have you ever used one? I haven't, no. They do look interesting, actually, the Lian Li Edge. For those of you who haven't seen them, the Lian Li Edge power supplies, so the power connectors go in kind of like a lip that comes off the side of the power supply, and also some of them have got extra USB connections as well, so you can kind of daisy chain USBs. If you're building a PC and you're going kind of all in on the Lian Li ecosystem for controllers, streamers, SL fans, or whatever fans you get from Lian Li, because they all use those hubs on USB 2, you need a ton of USB 2 ports, which most motherboards have got 1 or 2. So by the time you've done maybe front panel connection and one other thing, you're kind of like, where am I going to plug in my other connections? So yeah, Lian Li have kind of fixed their own problem, so to speak, and they've put those extra ports in there for USB. So yeah, pretty cool. It's a good idea. I've not used one, but then I don't really have a necessity to, because I've not got any PCs which are that involved in the Lian Li ecosystem, so it's never been a problem. Same goes for the Corsair power supplies. The what's the Edge ones they do? I can't think what their branding is on those, but they do like a side connect version or a back connect version, which is kind of nice. Peter says, I tend to go with the hole for the GPU since it tends to look better, in my opinion. I did try that. If you watch the stream or rewind it, with the cables in this particular GPU, because where they're positioned towards the end, they didn't fall nicely down through here, so it kind of went across at a weird angle, and it just looked forced, or like it was tight or taut, which in a PC generally, because you've got RAM and everything is kind of generally either vertical or horizontal. Like slots are horizontal, graphics cards horizontal, fans are vertical and horizontal. So you want to try and keep to straight lines if you possibly can. Otherwise, anything which isn't straight in there immediately catches your eye. And with the cable, as it was putting across there, it immediately kind of really disrupted all of the other lines, which is really the last thing you want, especially if you're buying or building a fish tank case. You want it to look, well, you don't want anything to really draw your attention. You just want it to be like, wow. And I think it has got a little bit of the wow factor. Maybe not enough down here, where there's this tiny little RGB bit going on for basically no real reason. I think it needs like a bobble head or some kind of, maybe even a pump distro unit down here. Just something of interest going on here. Even just like an RGB column. Just a column of light just doing something. This bit I think feels very neglected. Even though you've got the fans there. So he's actually looking at it from what you can see there. I'm looking at it from obviously from this angle. And from this angle it looks a little bit blur. But then I guess that's like a fish tank in real life, isn't it? You look at them from the front on and you design it with that. You don't design it with looking at this bit. Anyway, I get you. I get you. Corsair Shift, says Dave Aiken. That's the one. Thank you, Dave. Come to the rescue. Jay Barnes says, well done, Mike. No, thank you. Thank you all for joining me along on the journey. This was a some form of kind of exploration of what can be done in this case and what works and what doesn't. And overall, I think it's done all right. I think I should have got the black version. I think if I got the black version of this, this would look $1 million. Obviously the black version of the tower cooler as well. But it kind of is what it is. I'm not going to be spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds to get a white motherboard and a white graphics card. It's just, it isn't worth it for what it's intended to. Sometimes I go the extra mile if maybe it's a PC of my own and I know it's going to be on show, like that one there. But even saying that, the Series 500 in the back there, it's still kind of, there are elements where the motherboard's got little bits of black and there's some silver in there and stuff, so you're never going to eradicate it altogether, but I don't know, I think it's okay. I think it's turned out nice. Again, massive shout out to Colin Hilton for sending the case. It is very much appreciated, and despite my kind of negative opinions of it, still very, very thankful for it, and as I am for all of you for joining us. Let's have a look in the chat, see if there's anything else. A mic bobblehead figure by the fans in the platform. We might be able to do that. Hold the line, caller. I'll stand on a chair, which is obviously a bad idea. Oh, actually, no, I'll tell you, I don't need to stand on a chair, do I? Because it's over here. It's in my magic box. Somewhere. Oh, balls. I was looking for a USB cable earlier. Typical, it's in there.
There's some spare now. Do you want me?
I'm right, thanks.
No, he's alright now, Age. Thank you.
There we go.
What I miss?
You missed Emotep. Emotep is in the build. Although he looks a little bit lost in there now. He looks a little bit angry. What an angry man.
Looks like he's ready to have a pancake.
He's wasting away. Thing is, he's a bobblehead, but he doesn't bobble. Well, he's a Funko Pop, I suppose, or Pop, whatever it is. But he doesn't move. Yeah, bit of boba action going on there. Let's put these back in his presentation box. I like to keep this one pristine. Crazy. Oh, there's a game controller in there. Forgot I had that. Sorry?
Did you see anything?
Yeah, it did, yeah. That's quite funny.
Never noticed that.
Yeah. What was I saying earlier? Oh, USB cable. I'll order one of those so I can use that webcam. How long is that? Well, it's only 2 meters, I think. Yeah, that's probably why.
Did you read Muji much?
No, I haven't. I'm just looking for now.
Do you install MS Office or other software by default or on request?
I do it on request. Normally, I would probably... Well, it depends who it is. Sometimes if someone's building it like for their kids, like one of my friends wanted 2 identical PCs at Christmas time, and I said, like, what are they doing at school? Do they need any software, Microsoft Office or anything? And he's like, nah, don't worry about it, it's fine, leave it. If they need anything, they can get it themselves. And it's like, that is what I try to do. I try to just do a really, really, really basic install of Windows, get all the drivers on there, do all the updates. I don't even do security software, I just leave Microsoft's own security software. If that isn't enough, then they're clearly doing something wrong. Yeah, I leave it very basic. The only thing I do put on there is hardware monitor and also CPU ID or CPU Z. Purely for the reason of if there should be any problems, they can get me on the phone or on the Discord or whatever. And I can say, right, fire up hardware monitor. And let's have a look at the temps, or let's have a look at the voltages. Let's have a look at any possible issues there. Sometimes I'll leave Cinebench on as well, just so again, if there's any diagnostic work to be done, if they're having problems, and say, well, right, stick Cinebench on for 5 minutes, and we'll see what happens. Look at the temperatures and voltages and see if it's going to cause any problems. But in general, I tend to not put any software on at all if I can help it. Just keep it completely basic. I think it's probably the way to go. Sinister Chef says, perfection, there is your $1 million case. There we go, mini mic.
Mike, Smart Games, Mike, the Leon Lee Edge Power Supply,
Hmm.
have you ever used one?
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Alright, okay. Sorry, I'm catching up.
Bendy Ink Machine fan says, need to order a desk mat from your store. I'll put the links in the store.
It's not our store.
Yeah, it's not our store, it's just a company that we've kind of not really done stuff with, but I know of,
It from there.
friendly of, and yeah, we ordered one for ourselves, and then found out that other people get their own designs done. I thought, well, actually, that's pretty cool, because I'd imagine other people would like to do that as well. If you actually want the design, which is on our mouse pad, I've put the JPEG in our Discord. So if you go into the affiliates room, or affiliate sales, or whatever it is, I'll put the Discord link in there. So you can go in there and you can download the image, just upload it to technically stable. If you want to edit it, modify it, do whatever you like, choice is yours. If you've got Photoshop, go to town, knock yourselves out. You're more than welcome to. If you want a picture of Dave or anything else, then just let us know and we'll post it for you. Archangel, £20, that'll be it. But yeah, if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. That'll be good.
Did you do Welly Bob? Can you please report the CPU temps at idle and possibly maxed out?
Oh, what, in here?
I don't know.
I will do. Yeah, the CPU, that's the reason for doing this as well. Because before I sell it, I'll be doing the review of the cooler, because I haven't got around to doing that yet. And I thought, well, this probably kills a lot of birds in one stone. I can just build the PC, that way it's all done, and I can just take the side panels off to get accurate measurements, just ambient temperatures. So yeah, this is going to work out very well indeed, I feel. So I think that is going to pretty much wrap this up. If you've got any last minute questions, feel free to let us know now, and I will try and answer any questions you may have. And in the meantime, I'm going to start packing up some of this stuff. So you've got the 5-minute warning. Kath's still saying hello to everybody.
Ordinarily, I put a freezer 36 inside a fractal core 500 ITX case.
Oh, bloody hell.
Keeps it in shit really cool.
You put what, an Arctic what?
So, freezer 36.
Oh, freezer 36, okay.
It's a fractal core.
Oh yeah, I got you. I found out actually, Vincent, the guy who is basically the chief designer, or head of design for Arctic, he hates RGB. I think we should petition that he gets the sack immediately. How can you be in charge of a CPU cooling company that doesn't like RGB? RGB is like the thing.
It was the thing.
It still is. It will be for ages. Oh no, just damaged the EVGA box.
You should get so excited about.
That's going to be discounted now. Okay. Yeah, Rasha's right. Yeah, boring, man. Definitely. Yeah, you can have a bit of RGB, haven't you? It's ridiculous.
Oh, Skystalker's there as well.
Oh no, Skystalker. Sorry, dude.
And Dave Aiken was in there.
Yeah, and Dave. I saw Dave just now.
Oh, they're all coming in now.
I know, ordinary dude as well. It's the time of day, isn't it? That is the trouble of doing live streams when we've got like a very wide-ranging audience. It's trying to work out what is the best time to do streams. And also, obviously, what is best for us as well, when I've actually got things I need to do, or get done, or just feel like entertaining. Doesn't happen often. Can't vouch for that.
Been very good recently.
I have been. I've been pretty good. I've been on my good behaviour recently. Oh, need to put that back up there. Keep that cool. I don't know why I put those back on really. They're absolutely pointless. Arctic makes amazing coolers. I have 2 of the Liquid Freezer 3 360s. I'll be honest with you, I've got the Liquid Freezer 3 280 and I do like it a lot, but it is bloody noisy. The pump is absolutely horrendous. Now, I can set it to a low RPM and it's fine because it still cools just as well at a low RPM as it does at high RPM. So that isn't particularly a problem. But if you use just the one cable to connect out the fans, the whole lot, and it goes mad on its PWM, it does get rather loud, which if you're trying to do video editing or you're just sat there minding your own business, reading a document or researching or something, it's very, very distracting. But overall, it is quite good, so I'll give it that. Performance-wise, it is pretty good.
Mike, will you?
Will you review of the ByWin memory? Yes, I will. Dave from BuyWin, we've been in pretty good contact. They seem to like the video we did previously, so yeah, I think we'll be getting some BuyWin RAM as soon as there's something new, or they come out with something, or they just want to promote it. Then hopefully I will be on the rotation list, and they'll get some over to us. I'll be honest with you though, when it comes to reviewing things like RAM and M.2 drives, SSDs, all that kind of stuff, I actually don't enjoy doing it. I really don't. As much as people will probably think, oh, that must be like really cool to get all that stuff, it's actually not. I really do hate it. I don't like benchmarking graphics cards. I don't like benchmarking RAM, and I don't like benchmarking anything really, because I find it all to be rather, well, A, it's tedious, and B, somewhat pointless, because it's extremely unlikely that someone else is going to have exactly the same specification system as you, or the same setup, or the same software, etc, etc. The thing is about, if it was like on a Macintosh or something, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's worth doing because they are all the same. But with a PC, there's so many slight differences. Like, I could benchmark this PC in this case, and then I could benchmark this PC in another case, and the results would be different. May not be like earth-shatteringly different, but they would certainly be different. And in the modern times where the difference between one tier of graphics cards and another is a few percent, it's like, well, if I just do it on an open test bench, that would be fair for everything. But then realistically, who's going to use their PC as an open test bench? It's unlikely that anyone's going to do that as a long-term thing. Also, you have to take into consideration as well the very subtle differences in BIOS setups, undervolting, overclocking, expo, XMP, the difference the cooler makes. There's so many variables. So yeah, benchmarking, as useful as it is in some instances, I find it very tedious and such a non-exact science, or it doesn't reflect what real life is all about, with all those little subtle differences, even down to power supply. If you use a shit power supply, your system isn't going to perform as well as potentially it will do with a better power supply. So even as subtle as that, and even the differences between voltages from power supplies and the power factor correction and stuff like that, it all has very subtle differences which all add up. So yeah, benchmarking I hate to do, and I try to avoid it wherever possible.
I vouch.
Hey?
I'll vouch for that.
Kath vouches, yeah, because I write the list of videos to do on the board, and it's like such and such benchmark. It's like, really don't want to do that. I've got a graphics card I bought at Christmas. I still haven't taken it out of the box purely because I don't want to benchmark it. So yeah, I don't like doing that. John Bowman says, I love your channel. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. O'Reilly says, Corsair has vibrant ARGB, so I get a real proper rainbow. That is something, yeah, Arctic RGB is pretty rubbish. It's very pale. It's kind of, yeah, they're very muted colours. It's almost pastel. That is something which, yeah, I look at my PC up there and I can see the difference in the RGBs between the standard fans in my Thermaltake case and the Antec ones, the Arctic ones, sorry. And yeah, they're just very pale. It's like the luminosity gives off a lot of light, but it's very pale. Anyway. Sinister Chef says, oh, I'd love to see what the EVGA, that's a 3070 in there, but yeah, I get you. I probably will do a little bit of a review on that. I won't go massive onto loads and loads of games. I'll probably do about 5 or 6 of the games that I regularly play, just so it doesn't bore me completely to tears. And yeah, I'll give you my opinion. I think it's going to be very similar to the Intel B580. Very similar. And bizarrely, quite a similar price as well. Especially on the, well, used versus new. Which is bizarre that a kind of 3 or 4 year old graphics card will be basically as popular as a brand new one when they both perform relatively similarly. That just blows my mind. But that is the grip that Nvidia have got on the market. So, yeah, kind of is what it is.
Sinister Chef, I'd love to see that.
I just said that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
That's drifting off.
Rasher says my 4-year-old LL120 Corsair fans are half light blue and half dead. Oh dear. I actually purchased it because your Binwin NVMe drive review, so I thought I'd give their memory a try, says Bendy Ink Machine fan. Oh, cool. Montec fans, yeah, they're pretty vibrant in colour as well. Rasher says them SWA fans are nearly as expensive as the Lian Li Unity fans. Yeah, they are. The Thermaltake SWA fans are really expensive, but then they are reverse, and also it's the convenience, I suppose, and the flexibility that you can make. You can buy 3 fans and you can have them either reverse one day and something else the next. They're more for the kind of the hardcore Walter overclockers that tweak and play around with their rads and stuff all the time. For most people, you're probably much better off with the CT120s, the CT120EX. Those ones, they're much cheaper. You're looking about 40 quid for a set of 3, which is pretty reasonable. They work well, really easy to wire up, and yeah, they're probably my fans of choice these days. Or just the standard daisy chain ones. They're a bit more of a pain to wire, but for the money, you can't go too far wrong. Rasher says, are there any SWA fans in that build? No. These are just the stock fans that come with the Antec case. And they're actually not too bad. I think the actual, the vibrancy of the colours is actually quite good, but it doesn't dissipate very well across the blades. So although the colours are very nice and very kind of rich, they don't really go very far. At least they don't seem to on this angle. If you look at the ones in the top, they are distributing a lot more light across the blades, and they are even cheaper. Not sure how well that's coming across on the camera, but anyway. Right, I think that is going to pretty much wrap this one up. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Thanks for the late comments there, guys. We will call that a day. Massive shout out to everybody who's joined us on this very unusual and ad hoc Tuesday live stream. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button if you haven't already. And obviously if you're new here and haven't got a clue what's going on and thinking, quite interested, that Baldy Git, what's he going on about? You can subscribe to the channel. You're more than welcome to do so. And we look forward to seeing you. Also, don't forget, we do have a Discord as well. I'll put the links in the chat there for you now. Obviously, because it's only just gone 9 o'clock here in the UK, as soon as I've packed up all this stuff, I will be on the Discord for a chat. So if you want to continue having a chat about anything you've seen here, or basically anything else you want to, feel free to head over to our Discord. You are all more than welcome. And if you're a YouTube member, then you get the VIP role, which basically doesn't give you much, but means your name's higher than other people's. So maybe that's cool. Maybe it's not. I don't know. You let me know. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. And hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching, and maybe see you later on the Discord. If not, we'll see you in the video first thing tomorrow morning.
We should then, can we just...
Go on then. Kath wants to show you the cats.
Oh.
Thanks for that.
The end.
Go on, Kath, you can do it. There you go. Right, that'll do. See you later. Take care. See you next video.